And we're live. Uh-oh. How's everyone doing? How are you guys doing? I've got my
I'm
silver tie on today, which is we know is bad luck, so you guys might all die.
I'm doing well, so
For now, for now.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, my phone just exploded. Stop doing that, phone. There we go.
I don't know what
Um,
happened, but
so I'm just gonna do
the
a quick.
extension,
Sorry.
I don't know. Just the extension's just not working anymore for me. I'm not really sure why. But
Oh, that sucks.
Well, it doesn't like you.
I'm guessing you're gonna have to be doing a bunch of page refreshes and reinstall Windows and just throw your
Pour, bu-
computer out the window and buy a new one.
yeah,
and
I mean,
pour butter over the motherboard.
in
Yeah,
line.
butter
I
up the
don't know
motherboard.
why. It's just not like whenever I go to the page, it just doesn't. It's not showing the little bubbles anymore. I don't know.
Can you like turn the extension back on and off again, like IT?
I mean, I think you can disable it. I don't know. It was working, so I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I tried it again, like right afterwards, and it didn't work. And I was like, "Okay, well,
Well, um, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if you have to roll in line, not a big deal.
yeah,
Let's just do a little recap for anyone watching the stream. Trump is no, sorry, that's not what I'm recapping. I'm recapping D&D. Um, so, so you guys just finished the temple, which is what we're looking at right now. I might just leave it up in all honesty because when you guys first reach Elwayne, there will be no map for it. Just kind of like how Ironfell didn't get one right away either. I kind of want to get a feel for what you guys want to do, what's important, that kind of thing as you jump in and explore it. So it'll be a lot of theater. It'll be all theater of the mind. Um, so I'll probably just leave this beauty up. So you guys finished the temple. You met with a rat woman who just appears randomly in a giant's shoe out of nowhere and seems to follow you around a little bit. And she talked to you guys for a bit, and we're probably going to jump into that when we first start. Also, one more thing of note is our buddy Oris, or the player who plays Oris, is out of country, so he will not be joining us. This is going to be a 3-man episode, special episode. Um, Flavor-wise, Oris actually, he was kind of annoyed in the last episode, and we're going to kind of play off that he decided to kind of like tell the party that he was going to leave for a bit. And he's off doing some extra training because I spoke with the player, and since he started playing, it's what, this is episode 14, so we're talking like 3 months. When he first started playing, he hadn't played D&D at all, and now he's looking at you guys and how characters have been optimized and whatnot, and he's regretting a couple of his first day choices. So I'm gonna allow him to move 1 or 2 points, ability points around, so that he's kind of what a standard monk would start at. And mostly he just had a couple of stats with like an odd point just laying around, and he was kind of playing at a handicap with -1 AC because. Anyways, he's gonna respect slightly within the rules, like a reasonable amount. I'm not just giving him extra points. He's gonna just pretend that he had built his character properly at the beginning, or the way you wanted at the beginning. And it won't affect the game a whole lot. It's just going to be... So he's off training. He's off doing intense training under a waterfall, probably, getting better at his monk abilities. And
Yeah,
when he returns...
He's going to punch a hole through a waterfall.
Yeah, he's like just punching trees and like mastering his chakra, and when he returns next Sunday, he'll be ripped. He'll just be like totally ripped and have slightly more. I forget which stat it is, if it's dexterity or wisdom that he was shy. I think it was his wisdom was a little under, so he's actually gonna come back wiser, I think.
Yeah, he had way more charisma than necessary for a monk, and not much wisdom.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna come back with he's still gonna have that. Um, he's still gonna have charisma. That's still which I mean, considering his play style, I don't know if he is that charismatic because he's kind of just he he just kind of ignores people and doesn't talk much and whatnot. But hey, you guys can play whatever you want to play and play it however you want to play
No,
it.
charisma is more than just being talkative.
Yeah, true. Like he's just a very attractive bald monk that keeps to himself.
Well, maybe he's more intimidating
It could be.
than
Yeah.
persuasive.
I'm
Like
pretty sure
he's
you've
not.
all stopped to like admire the sheen on his bald head, and been like,
Absolutely.
"Wow, I'm jealous of that. Why do I have hair?" And then you remember like a cold breeze hits your head, and you're like, "Oh well, I'll stick with hair."
Exactly. He's very pretty.
So, I guess we will introduce everybody real quick. It'll be even quicker because there's only three of us. First up is May.
Oh, or hi, or hey, it's Ezekiel. I play Meg Lanodell, a young elf who looks like a kid. She's not quite that young, but she's still pretty naive about the world. Grew up in a little town. She's a wizard, still trying to figure out her way in the world.
Sweet. And you're also running Rim, correct?
Oh, yep, I'm also running another character now called Rim, who finally has only one level of exhaustion. He's also an elf. He's a rogue. He doesn't talk quite as much because it's hard to talk as two characters, but he does sometimes have words to say. And he comes from the same town. He kind of looks up to May, and she's sort of training him a little bit to also become an adventurer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's May's apprentice, so he should be kind of respectful and not talking too much. So I think it works. Next up, we have Blanford.
Hi, my name is Blandford Knitfable. I'm definitely not Zosimus. Uh, I I'm a whisper bard, but we don't talk about being a whisper bard. It's not a thing you ever actually talk about because that's not people don't ever really talk about that. It's kind of embarrassing. Uh, I I'm here to keep these people safe because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Because they don't know how to keep themselves alive and safe, and I'm supposed to be doing that.
All right. And lastly, we have Fjorn.
I'm in Burke. I play Bjorn Ledbrock, the barbarian,
Awesome.
and that's about it.
That's it. That's all there is to know. He's big, beefy barbarian. And, he does big, beefy barbarian things. And he likes warm hugs. So, as we left off, you guys had exited the temple. Oris, we'll just say, has left already. It's the four of you then, without Oris, and the Black Fang. The Black Fang is with you still. You guys are still standing outside the Rat Woman's shoe. She hasn't vanished yet because you guys were still having a bit of a conversation. You were discussing the potential for some magical items that she might allow you to have. It's interesting because the other campaign party on Wednesday did a little bit of purchasing of magical goods. The things they bought were like the prices were probably a little on the cheaper end, but they were not necessarily as powerful. I'd argue that the lightning javelin is pretty darn good for an uncommon magic item.
How much does it cost to enchant an item again?
There aren't any rules for players creating or generating their own magical items. I'm allowing the magical setting to be a little on the higher side. If you look at things like Critical Role, he does not like to give them magical items unless they absolutely need them. He's usually like, oh, they're always out of stock of everything and whatnot. But I kind of raised the magical setting a little bit in Ironfell, specifically in the Underworks, because there's kind of this theme about it, but they're not going to be getting anything, and you guys probably won't either, purchasing things into the rare or beyond categories. Although, technically, the Rat Woman did offer you guys a Ring of Protection, which is rare, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like way more expensive, right?
So yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to enchant a weapon or like get a magical weapon of specific value and like whatnot, I would just say mention it maybe to someone, and then maybe I can start a quest line or something to make it appropriate. But as for a basic cost for you to just pick an enchantment to enchant something, you haven't really encountered that yet. But it's something we can discuss.
It's probably hideous. It's probably a hideous expense.
I mean, it'll probably be around the same costs that I would make to just purchase the item straight up, but you never know.
Okay.
If we can tie a quest to it where you have to like go out and acquire certain reagents and whatnot, the costs for enchantment can go down. So we'll see what happens.
Right. And again, just like any other thing, any time we complete a quest and we get stuff for it, kind of thing, there could be a quest where we're helping some blacksmith or wizard or something, and they happen to have something they can enchant for us or something
Exactly.
like that. So
it's the same idea. You do some stuff and then you get rewarded. But if you want it to be if the idea is your character wants to enchant his crossbow and meet someone who can do enchanting, I'll probably come up with some kind of quest line to facilitate the acquiring of that item. I just want to let you guys know that it wasn't like here's a flat fee, just pick magical weapons at will. You're still limited to what you can purchase and what you can get.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just jump into it if you guys are ready. And I'll just pretend I'm a little gnome woman covered in rat pelts.
Hi, gnome woman.
Oh, yes! Yeah. Oh, hi! You guys are still here?
Yes. You've been so wonderfully helpful. I was wondering, since would you be interested in sponsoring us as adventurers?
Sponsoring you?
Yes, we would talk about how whenever we do something heroic, we would mention how you and your shop gave us the ability to be so fabulously heroic, and and you could give us a discount on items when we shop with you.
Well, I don't normally sell things to people. I'm not It takes a special breed for me to want to help anyone to begin with. It's as she's mentioning this, she's walking around you guys and kind of sniffing, just like maybe as a rat would. She's just like smelling you guys.
I mean, I guess it depends on if you have bigger aspirations. What's your name?
My name? You could just refer to me whatever you would like.
Well, I mean, I guess we're just kind of calling you the gnome rat lady, but I thought maybe that would be kind of rude.
Gnome? Oh. Well, yes, okay, I guess I am a gnome. I'd forgotten about that part. Well, yes, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I notice you aren't just friends with Whimsy. I see one of you is carrying some... I feel like sponsored. Maybe you're already sponsored.
I mean, I don't really know if Whimsy's sponsoring us or not. She sometimes talks on a coin to somebody. Was it Fjorn?
Bjorn.
Well, she doesn't do that for everyone. You must be something special about your group here.
Yeah. I'm actually curious, where Whimsy is. I never really met her. We just kind of talked on the coin decker before.
I've never done this.
No, what's Whimsy? I never met this person.
Neither have I. Only Fjorn has, I think. So,
Fjorn?
so Fjorn is the one who's super special.
Bjorn's just
If you want
keeping
to
quiet
sponsor,
about
if you
that
want to
part.
sponsor, if
His
you want to
title.
sponsor a different of us, you can. If you want to sponsor me, and if Whimsy's only sponsoring Fjorn. If you want to sponsor one of us, that would be something else. You could give me a coin.
As she's smelling you guys, she stops at May for a second and smells something. She seems kind of fouled by it. You are all aware that this one is cursed, right?
I lift my hand up with the obvious cursed dagger attached to my hand. Yep.
Yes, well, that one! That's a really obvious one. You have something else, though, that I would be concerned about.
Right. Is this something I'm forgetting or something I don't know about?
You probably don't know something. It's...
Okay. I don't know what else. Oh wait, I've got my creepy doll of the Shadowfell.
Yes. You pull that out, and she steps back for a second. That item. I warn you, utilizing its powers will harm whoever's nearby.
Oh, okay. But I mean, like a lot. I mean, it's more. It's not something I decide I want to really use, but it's in case of emergency, kind of.
Give me 1 second, actually, because
Oh.
when you guys found that was a while back. So I'm trying to remember where my notes were for it.
That was when we were dealing with the hags. We were dealing with the night hags. The night hags. We were after the green hags. We were in the Shadowfell.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I remember
Right.
where. It's not in my notes for this campaign or this episode because.
Sorry, I'm just going through. I was helping you if you.
Okay, yeah.
I've got good mental notes.
The curse. Oh. I mean, you look like strong adventurers. Maybe you're fine with a curse.
I mean, I don't. What is? I don't know what you mean by curse. So.
Would you like? I don't really want to be near it, but I could try to tell you exactly how it's cursed.
That would be lovely.
I mean, sure. Do we have to pay you or?
Are you planning to give me that delicious? I mean, powerful bag of rats?
Well, I mean, I thought we just got it, so we were gonna maybe hold on to it and see its uses, right? Or I don't know.
Okay. I won't touch it. You hold it out, and I'll just look at it.
Okay.
And now both your hands are holding, cursed items. No hands free.
That sounds.
Sorry. I'm not saying that it's doing the same thing as the dagger. I'm just saying you have a cursed item in each of your hands.
Oh, great. So now I have a dagger and a doll.
No, the doll isn't, bound to you or anything.
I know.
Although that would be hilarious.
That'd be horrible.
She's smelling and, looking around and kind of jittering a bit, like some kind of animal that you might relate her to, I suppose. Okay, so you're aware of what it does, probably. You could use it to temporarily enter the Shadowfell or return. But when you'll be cursed for a day. Anyone near it, when you use it. It's not
gonna be
a deadly curse, but it's not kind. And I don't want you using it near me. I have enough aches and pains as it is.
I guess that's a good thing to know in case we use it. But again, it's more for an escape route kind of thing.
I just thought I would let you know.
I think we should be fine as long as its head doesn't spin around. It walks on its own, grabs a dagger, and chases us.
No, only when you utilize it.
I wonder if I can combine it with this cursed dagger later, and then we can create Chucky.
That's why I was thinking Chucky doll.
I haven't
Nope.
heard of combining curses before, but maybe.
I think-
I like to think
Well,
it's forward thinking, but I understand.
There are those that are more powerful than I. Maybe they can help you.
May quietly thinks that maybe one day she'll be that powerful.
I think that probably within 2 years I'll be able to do that.
Be able to combine curses.
No, make Chucky.
Certainly.
Sure.
I want to ask her something before we get too far. I want to ask her about the symbol that is similar to the one on my coin, but it's different, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. This symbol. Ah, symbols of our guild. Can you show me the coin? Or do you know what that symbol means already?
I think it means. Forgot. Was it blood?
Oh, the one on the coin, yeah, that means blood.
Oh, yes. Blood payment is common. Actually, you aren't interested in paying me some blood? No, that's strange. I forget I've asked that.
I mean, you're kind of just a little odd, to be totally honest. You don't know what the heck you
She
want.
kind of
except
curtsies a little thank you.
that- I mean, except that maybe you want a bag of rats or actual cash.
Or blood?
Blood, maybe now.
I forget I mentioned the
What
blood.
you-
The blood is the weird. But you ask about my symbol? Oh, yes. This one. This one means home. Or safety.
Is it magical in some way? May is quickly scribbling it down in her notes.
No, it's just a way of us speaking to one another.
So does that mean there might be a way we could speak to you later down the road?
I mean, you're speaking to me now. You mean...
Right.
I'm sure we'll meet again, if that's your concern.
I mean, if you want us to pay in blood, we have a bard that seems
I
to
could do it.
bleed a lot, and he recovers fairly quickly. So
Well, I'll keep an eye out. Maybe I can find a way to allow you to do that. I can't do that today. Generally, payment... It's not payment so much as... bond, if you will. It seems you have a bond now with the coin, so now you're bonded with Whimsy. I don't,
You're like in love with Whimsy or something? I'm so confused how you even know her.
Yes, I would love to know about this relationship. You don't want to step on Whimsy's toes, but her toes are only on Fjorn. I'm open, and so is mine.
For what?
A relationship with our dear gnomish lady.
pardon me.
I'm not at all.
I appreciate the offer. I mean, you can roll,
I'm not sure. I
Persuade.
persuasion if you want to persuade her. Are you trying to roll to seduce?
Maybe? I think so.
Hot damn.
just
Oh
try
dear
to
my. Oh, she's like fanning herself a little. Oh.
Yep. It's the mullet.
Yeah, exactly. She actually plays with her like pelt mullet that she has of rat pelts. She kind of like feels that there's a bit of a kinship between the two. Oh yes.
And I kind of look at him and like give him a disgusting look.
Can I
Are you serious?
can I sleight of hand the the water thing and splash water on his face?
The decanter?
Yeah, the decanter. That.
Yeah. Let me just
Or
look up false start. Yeah, go for it. If you can beat his passive perception, you can do it.
Okay, let me. My
Which
sleight
I
of
think
hand
is like 11 or 12.
My passive perception is 14.
Okay, DC
only
14.
3, so it's probably not gonna work. No.
Ah,
Maybe it's just right now. No, we got an 11.
I believe May it still has 1 level of exhaustion too, so
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably.
it's already failed. So I mean, yeah, you try to take it from. You
Okay,
you
maybe-
realize he's trying to take the decanter from you. It's up to you to try to stop him if you want. You could allow him to.
Mm-mm.
No, you decide to keep him from taking the decanter.
Mhm.
Well, then the two of you are doing this like kind of slap fight for a moment, and the attractive spell on the rat woman's starting to fade a little. Oh, so before you leave, did you need any more assistance from me? Otherwise, I'm going back to my shoe.
Because okay.
Can I ask how old you are?
My
You don't
age?
ask a lady her age.
I'm a lady too. Shut up.
I don't
You respect
remember.
your elders. Respect your elders.
How
No,
long do rats normally live?
I have no idea, honestly. I mean, I
I
guess.
imagine a few years. I might. I think
She is
I've
exact-
seen at least one winter.
She is exactly as old as she wishes to be.
I was just curious if she was an old lady who lived in a shoe, but whatever.
I mean, she is. It doesn't even take an insight roll for you to realize that she's definitely not 1 or 2 years old. Given her the way she looks, you would imagine she's much older than that. Probably older than each of you. But her exact age you can't really discern. And she doesn't seem to be fully aware of how old she is.
How much is that pearl of power?
I can duplicate the item for you for 100 oh, but you guys, you know whimsy. Let me 80. I could do 80 platinum.
Oh,
It's still either way. It's still gonna be over. Yeah, it's 800.
that's more than I have. Oh,
Don't
we
worry,
have to-
don't worry. I'm sure we'll meet again.
yes. We'll meet again. I
You really-
will.
And she's
Then,
smelling Fjorn a bit more again. Yes, especially if this one's with you. I mean, she's smelling the bag of rats in your possessions more than you yourself.
Who has the bag of rats?
Yes.
If you don't have it, I've been mis-RPing this. I just assumed that you were the one carrying it, but if that's not the case, then...
I can't remember.
I will have.
An Oris or something. That's fine.
We will have to find some. We will have to acquire some more money, so we can get some more of your wonderful item.
Well, I don't have the items on me. Will make a copy of the one you have.
Well, that works too.
Can I
Quick math, 20% discount on the prices I gave you last week.
Okay. Are you able to remove curses?
I can't, but I'm sure you'll find someone nearby that can.
Okay. That's cool. I just have this stupid knife in my hand.
Yes, it is quite stupid.
We could ask someone to rip it off your hand and see if that works.
Do you want me to use magic missile on you? That's what I thought.
Correct. All right. Well,
Fine. The old lady lives in a shoe.
Thank you. I will go back to doing what I do.
You do, you lady.
You have too many children to know what to do?
Children? Well,
Rats.
I suppose a few.
Okay, May's leaving.
I am too. I bow, walk backwards, and just like with the hags.
Awesome. Yeah, she returns to her shoe. You guys start walking away, and you're just tempted to look over your shoulder, and there's no shoe there anymore.
Yeah, because of course there isn't. There never was a shoe.
There was Did you guys did get some stuff from her, right?
Yes, we got the owl.
You got the pens,
quills.
the quills, and you got like a earring wind chime or something. I forget.
The earring wind chime that I can use as an instrument.
Overall, she mostly just wasted your time, I suppose. I guess she let you know about the curse on the doll. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Found out that the bard his morals are a little questionable.
Well, you did skin a man earlier not an hour previous.
Oh yeah, true.
That was a bad person, though. I mean,
and also I drowned him, but good.
That's true.
I'm talking about
that is
the seducing of a rat woman.
yeah, that's just, I don't think that May really thinks of Blanford as different than Zazie, except for that Zazie talked a lot more about elves.
I gotta remember to raise the DC on seduction. You're gonna plus 9.
I mean, the thing is sometimes there's sometimes there's a DC and sometimes there's somebody isn't going to be seduced no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. But
unless you roll like a nat 20, maybe.
In this situation, you caught her whimsy for a second, and I'm not actually.
And then my sabotaged it. And then my sabotaged it immediately.
You do look a little rat-like, so she was kind of intrigued for a moment.
Yes.
May just didn't want to screw up her relationship with her, with a merchant. Which clearly would happen if...
Oh,
Blanford
she also gave Fjorn a new axe. I forgot about that. So, I mean, she was helpful.
Well, let's go.
And jerky! She gave you guys free jerky.
Yes.
Because you guys are horrendous at rolling survival.
Oh, I didn't realize we got food. Yeah, I guess, I would say the night and then we can go keep moving.
It's only it's not even noon right now.
Oh, okay, let's
because you had just slept, went in, killed the vampires, and then came out. So I mean.
Oh right, we took a short rest, but that was it.
Yeah, and while you were short resting, I think Oris was like, "I'm gonna go hunting," and that's where he met the rat woman, and then he rolled poorly for survival anyway, so they didn't, or maybe he rolled like a 15, and I decided instead of him hunting an animal, I gave the jerky. Either way.
We are going to...
It's still pretty early in the day.
Well, let's
go. Let's go
because
to town.
I'm exhausted.
You are. But no one's moving at half speed anymore, which is nice.
Would you like a bardic inspiration?
That's... No.
Okay. And you're not...
I want to get to somewhere where I want to eat food and be able to stay not in the tent, probably.
Civilization?
Yes, let's get to civilization.
Yes, the Black Fang reminds you guys you are only a few hours journey. You'll arrive before nightfall.
Excellent.
Hang up and go.
Sweet.
Then let's do it.
Because, I mean, he's been waiting at this temple for like 2 days. Just watching you guys disappear and come back and hunt and fail and train and...
We should just leave him here, guys.
To be fair, you don't actually know how to get the... He could point the way, I suppose, but...
I thought we were going to go north, but yeah.
We will get lost. We will get lost if we don't have help. Because
because so far, the forest has still been that, like, magical overgrowth that you've been experiencing where, like... it's not so much like the distance is what's making it take so long. It's that you're more or less doing like rough terrain and requiring to zigzag around the Black Fang's, path to get through this. It's constantly shifting and moving. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
I knew I should have taken to Earth. All right, let's go.
All right, cool. Yeah. I guess I will ask for one perception check. You guys can make it Squire if you want with advantage.
I'll do it.
I got plus.
Fjorn jumps ahead. Yeah, you guys are quite aware of the surroundings. You guys are super perceptive today. I just needed one, but that's okay. You guys are aware of your surroundings. There's no will-o-wisps coming to suck your souls today. Yeah, pretty uneventful, actually. Kind of boring considering the more exciting stuff you've had done recently as you travel. As you get closer, eventually the like annoying forest overgrowth that I just mentioned as a reminder does come to an end. And you feel that is probably the border, if you will, of the forest. That's the protective shield keeping, well, the humans are assuming keeping their military out, but it's there to keep the Mazgate and its spawn from escaping the forest. And that's why it's a pain. But yes, you break and it's like just like general forest for a while that you can easily traverse and like find a path through. It's not like moving, it's not doing anything weird. Definitely can find your way, and within like 30 minutes, there's clearing and then a large elven city. It's bigger than the war camp. It's bigger than the city that, quite a bit bigger actually than the city that, or the village that May grew up in. It's large. It's a very large city. It doesn't really, I mean, it has city walls that you approach to, but the walls seem more ornamental than functional per se. I mean, a city this size will have city walls, but they're they're beautiful. They're attractive walls. They're like polished and not overgrown, and they look nice. And you guys approach the main entranceway, which is open. It's not even closed, and it's a sunny, beautiful day still. The sun is, on the verge of setting. It's maybe like 5 or 6 o'clock, but you've got a few hours until you have to worry about the sun being all the way down. It's as you enter into the city, it's bustling. There's people, there's traffic, there's people living their lives, selling things, but very notably is completely elven. You do not see a non-elf in any of the people moving around. You just see more and more elves. I think, our friend Blanford is okay, but Zosimus would be sweating, I think, a little bit in this kind of a situation. You start traveling. I'm guessing, actually, I won't say any further. You guys are at the entrance to the city. Actually, as you come to their entrance, the Black Fang kind of stops, and he says, "This is as far as I take you. I'll wait for you if you leave town."
So you don't want to come in with us?
No.
So, are you, wanted by elves or something?
I have no desire to go in there.
Can I roll insight?
Sure. You want to know if he does have a desire to go in there?
No, I just mean, I don't know. I'm curious why if he's...
You're trying to
If it's more
discern a little extra information without asking it? Sure, go for it.
Well, it's I don't know, does it seem like
He's afraid? Is that what you're asking?
I don't know. It's just kind of weird to be like, I don't want to go into the city. I'll wait outside. Like I'm curious if he is, yeah, maybe he's scared. Maybe there's some reason. Maybe it is like he.
I don't know if you'll discern the reason.
I mean, now
But you can get insight from his demeanor. Sure, go for it. 14, and technically you have disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
So tired. So tired. Oh, not
13.
bad. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to go in. He just seems stubborn about it. You don't really see any necessarily like obvious emotion or passion about it. He just seems disinterested in entering the town.
And if I just ask why, he doesn't really say.
I've been a hermit for so long. I just don't prefer the company of this many people.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we'll let you know when we leave. I don't know if
Oh, you don't have to let me know. I'll find you.
Do you think we'll have trouble in town for some reason?
You are mange whelps, and one of you is brandishing a weapon.
I mean, two of us aren't mange whelps, but okay.
You can try to tell them that.
We're freaking children. Why would they think that we abandoned the human military?
I mean, you're traveling with these people. I mean, you're gonna stand out, but yeah, I don't know if I would walk around with a knife out.
Well, I'll put my hand in my pocket. God damn.
You seem really mad at him, and he's like trying to help you out.
Elves never heard of a curse before? Jeez.
I'm sure you'll be fine. It's a peaceful town.
I'll put the bag of holding to my side. Just put my hand in it.
Yeah,
I could put you in the bag of holding and carry you that way.
he's just letting you know that if you walk around with a knife out, people will probably be like giving you looks and stuff.
I think our first priority should be see if we can find somebody that will help you with that.
Yeah, sure. I guess we can do that.
Our second priority is making money.
Oh, no, I mean, my second priority is probably going to sleep because I'm still exhausted.
Fine.
Rim too, and then after that, I just kind of want to see what's going on here. Maybe we can find some more information or something.
Also, we need to figure out what in the world we're doing because our original plan was, what again exactly?
Save Rim and get him.
Lane.
I thought you guys were interested in learning about the Mazgate. I assumed that was your current plot hook.
I think that we need to go to that city to find out more about the Mazgate, but yes.
Yes, we need to find out about the Mazgate.
I mean, I mentioned the Mazgate, and you guys said, we're going north! And I was like, oh, I guess that's what you guys want to do. And then you guys keep asking, what are we doing? And I'm like, well, that's not up to me. You guys decided to do this.
But we need to talk about why exactly we're doing this, because a
tavern. Let's find a place before we start talking about it.
Yeah, you noticed that the Black Fang, you guys were busy talking, and he's just gone.
Yeah.
He did his vanishing out.
Okay.
We need to talk about what in the world we're doing and why. Because
yeah, I mean,
are we still being pursued? Are we still being pursued? We're here. It's great. We can find out more. We can get a total picture of this entire situation. After we've got this total picture, what next?
Well, we won't know until we have the full picture, first of all, and second, I don't know if we want to decide anything while Oris isn't actually here.
Well, fine.
As long as we're headed.
So let's not discuss it in the middle of the street or in the entrance of the city or wherever the hell we're at. We should find a room or something somewhere we can rest and talk about it a little bit more and figure out what we have to offer. All
right, we'll sleep. We'll sleep. Get your curse dealt with. Get some money, and then when Oris is back, we'll talk this out.
Can you guys roll initiative? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I can definitely roll initiative.
So
I'm just gonna add something real quick. As long as we're headed north, Fjorn is willing to go that direction. That's
okay.
like-
Yeah, May wants to know what the Nazgate. She really wants to go to the El Roland or whatever because she thinks that's gonna have a lot to it. It sounds like there's a lot of it. I don't know. She's just curious what's going on here right now. Let's find out what's like. When you enter the city, I don't know. Are we being looked at in any weird way, or do we see any buildings or anything like that?
Sure, yeah. As you enter, there's definitely buildings. There's homes. There's businesses. Nothing seems to stand out. Like you don't think that. I know in Ironfell I gave districts and things were very like sectioned. In this situation, seems kind of homogeneous. You don't really see any immediate rhyme or reason to, or like you wouldn't step in and be like, oh, this is clearly the dances, where all the dances are or something. It just seems all pretty homogenized as you're traveling down. You do get some looks. Some people do look for a moment and notice that you are clearly not all of you at least are elves. Two
Hoods up,
humans.
everybody.
Even specifically the two elves that are traveling in your party, neither one of you are Ava elves, which you notice that the vast majority of these elves, although the features of an Ava elf aren't completely known to you guys, you're gonna assume that nobody here so far is a high elf or a wood elf. If they are, you don't know how to discern the difference yet, so you're gonna by default assume that they are all of the Ava variant race. So yeah, you guys are getting some looks. Additionally, you guys are equipped as adventurers as opposed to most people are civilian or just merchants and people living their lives. You also do notice that there are some soldiers. The place is generally policed to a small degree. There's not a whole lot. You do see some. Like occasionally you see a pair of like armed soldiers just kind of walking the streets. But it's not oppressive. It's just like there are clearly city guards, but you wouldn't take the step to think that this is a militaristic town. After walking down the main road for a few minutes, you actually catch the eye of a woman notices you guys as she's walking, and she walks over to, she walks past you guys, but I'm gonna say May, if you could roll. It sucks that you have exhaustion. Could you roll just acrobatics or a dexterity check of some sort?
Sure.
Oh boy, I wish that was me and not mine.
12.
And with exhaustion?
That was with.
Oh, it is. You're right. I'm sorry. You did it the other way this time. I got confused.
I just kept reading before.
Yeah. So she goes to, or she's walking past. You guys didn't even really notice because there's so many people. You didn't notice that she was, had spotted you. And she bumps into May and drops some of the things that she was carrying. And May, you have enough footing that you are fine. You felt her press against your body a little as she fell over. And then the woman is gathering her things and apologizing to the party. I'm sorry. And she's picking up.
Full investigation, like Sherlock Holmes style, to just like know everything about her now that I like touched her. Like, oh, you walk with a limp, so. No, can I see what she dropped? No, I was just kidding. Like Sherlock Holmes, where he's like, oh, because you have.
That's the key mind feat.
We just watched that. We just rewatched the whole thing like last week, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
So can I see what she dropped? I want to help her, but I kind of want to first like glance down and see what stuff she dropped on the ground.
Okay, yeah, sure. She dropped like I guess she was carrying like a purse with her or like a satchel of some sort, and she spilt out. There was some papers. There was like some makeup and stuff, just like general personal items. Nothing. There's no weapons. There's no. There was like a change of clothing in there, like a shirt that had fallen out, like a light undershirt, and she's embarrassed because it's kind of considered underwear, and she's like putting it back in.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if there's any papers or anything.
Yeah, there's some. It looks like she has some general like literacy. There's papers on the ground too, and she's gathering them up. Yeah, I said that at the beginning.
Okay.
You can, I guess, if you want to make a roll. Are you gonna try to like just read something, or?
I just wanted to see if I could. I mean, yeah, if I can make a roll, maybe. But I just wanted to see, like, oh, is this like? Did you have any like important? I mean, sort of. I guess this is still sort of Sherlock Holmes style, but like figure something else about her or stuff.
What are you doing, Blanford?
I'd like to disguise self into Corin and then cast friends on her.
Nope, don't do that. We're in the middle of the street. What the hell?
Okay, you. As this woman is picking stuff up, Blanford starts casting, incanting. I'm gonna guess
I have my earring that I can just tap it and makes a sound, and that's that counts as the.
The somatic and verbal components of the spell. Is that what I gave you?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You're still casting a spell in the middle of the fucking street. Why would you do that? That doesn't even make any sense.
I only need to disguise my.
As you're starting to do this, May, you can definitely. You guys can try to stop him. That's definitely a thing you guys can do.
I only need to change my face at this point. I only need to change a little bit. I don't need to change a lot.
All right, you're going to draw quite a lot of attention doing this. If this is something you want to do, and the rest of the party is not going to try to stop you.
I'm going to try to keep him from doing. I want to grab a hold of him and kind of carry him away.
Awesome. So let's do. So we'll do athletics for the grapple on Fjorn. If you could roll athletics for me, and then you can roll either athletics or acrobatics to evade the grapple there, Blanford, and continue casting your spell. Hot damn. Okay, so you try to grab at him, and he manages to kind of weasel out of it, and he's still. How
can that little guy get away from me?
Whatever the hell is going on over there, I'm gonna lean down and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I start helping this lady, but I'm also gonna nod at Rim to help because I don't want to use both my hands because one of them is enclosed in a dagger, and I don't want to,
So you're helping like one-handed.
Well, yeah. So I like pick up one thing, and then I kind of like nod at Rim to come over. And
Rim's with you guys as well. Yeah, so he can totally help.
Steps over and starts helping. He's kind of walking. May doesn't necessarily love it, but he's kind of acting like a ward or something.
He's almost like in lockstep with you.
Yeah, he's like kind of like a step or two behind her and just kind of like following and just,
for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if his sword was like half an inch drawn when the woman bumped into her, and then when he realized she was no threat, went to help instead. Because of the level that he's protective of May, he was probably like, for half a second, was like, oh, damn. And then he was like, oh, no, let's help out. And then,
he's actually probably still, maybe I'll have him.
Is he skittish? Like, maybe he wouldn't do that?
No, he'll help, but can he roll insight or something? Just try to see, like, does she seem dangerous? Is it pretty obvious?
Oh, sure. He can go ahead and do that.
I cast those two spells. Tashichi's Corin's face, and I cast friends.
Okay. Well, you can first off you can cast disguise, so you can't combo spells like immediately. So you have to take the full action. There's at least 6 seconds of that happening. So roll the initiative. Roll the investigate or the insight. Okay, so Rim still exhausted, is having trouble discerning much from our newly Ava friend. She stands back up. She gets back up and she's looking at Blanford right now as his face. Is it just your face that you changed to be
It's
Corbin?
the whole thing, but really the face is the most important
So
part.
you want to be like armored, like the way he was when he fought you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to weasel out of Fjorn's grapple, and your form changes, and she's staring at you as your form is changing in front of her. She doesn't seem completely shocked or like frightened. And she starts talking to the group. You can now begin to cast friends if you want. So now you're starting to do the somatic and material components, maybe with a focus, which I guess would be your flute. So you have your flute out, and you're starting to cast another spell. And if people want to stop you from doing that, that's definitely something that they can do.
Yes.
Like if Fjorn wanted to try to grapple you again, we can do the rolls a second time.
What's the point now? He's already.
Yeah, that's fine. You can totally just let it happen. So in the 6 seconds that we're watching another spell getting prepared and cast, she introduces herself to the party. Hi, are you adventurers? You all look
Yeah,
very
we-
powerful. My name is Clementine.
Oh, that's a lovely name. My name's May.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I suppose the spell friends can definitely happen.
I was trying to make give. Oh boy, I was trying to do a certain thing that wasn't going to work. Apparently, she was already have. Well, apparently this isn't going to go the way I thought.
Well,
it was.
that's fine. You can cast the spell, and you are kind of getting eyeballs now from people. Even you noticed a passing set of guards has stopped to kind of watch the
At which
what's
point I'm
unfolding.
at which point I'm going to drop. I'm going to go down an alley, drop my disguise self.
What?
Okay, so you finish casting friends, correct?
Correct.
And now
then
you're
go
going to look for an alleyway. Sure. Roll.
Drop
You'll
disguise.
have to. So first, you're going to stop and you're going to look around to see if there's an alleyway to run into. So you can give me an investigation.
Oh no. Uh, it's enough, I think. 16.
Sure. Yeah, you're looking for just somewhere that you can duck out of sight, possibly.
Her in particular.
I mean, you could just run away, and then there would be enough people between you guys. But sure, yeah, you dive into. You start running, dashing towards what you perceive to be a home, and then another home, and there's like a bit of space between, and you think that you can get past the homes and maybe behind them. So you start running for this. You take off. Right now, she seems concerned. She's like, well, the rest of you, did you know him?
He's a little bit. I don't know. Anyways, nice to meet you, Clementine. She's one of the. She looks just like one of the other elves here.
Yeah, she just looks like another. I mean, discerning the elves is going to be tough for you, just having gotten here. But yeah, she just looks like another. She doesn't stand out in any particular way. She doesn't look
I just mean
particularly rich or poor. She looks pretty.
Oh, I
pretty
meant
standard.
the elf thing. Like if she's because
she looks like the rest of the elf. Again, your ability to discern the different elves and their physical features, you're not quite sure. So you're like 90% certain that she would be an Ava elf, but it's possible as you guys like learn the customs of of the elves here, you'll learn like the social cues and whatnot, what constitutes the other elven races and how they're treated as you go. But for the most part, you're going to assume Ava elf, and looking at her, you would think as well.
Can is there some kind of general elven custom greeting that I can do, or
Sure. Give me. Well, you could speak in Elvish, I suppose.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do.
You could
I'll
just say hello in Elvish. That would probably be enough.
Bienvenue. That's just French. Is Elvish just French? Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Possibly.
I'll be like
I thought it was Latin.
I thought it was.
Did
Yeah,
you
well-
ever name my town, by the way?
Did I ever name your town?
The town that May was from.
I think I had in my mind. It was a really bland name. It was like
May will say.
it was like Boulder or something. It was just like something like very generic.
Well, whatever it is, I'll call it Boulder for now. We in Elvish we send greetings from Boulder. At least Rim and I here, and she points at Rim, and Rim's like, "Hello, madam."
Okay. Oh, sorry.
This is my human friend. I know he probably stands out a little bit, Fjorn, and the other one.
So
Come on.
large. So, while this is going on, we'll flash back to our friend who ran behind the house. As you come behind the houses, you're like in the backyard of these houses, and then you're in the backyard of, like, your understanding is you're in the backyard of these houses, and then there's some like green area, and then there's more houses, and then there'll be a road beyond them. So you're kind of in the backyard of like 4 houses. You're not completely invisible to potentially people living in those homes, but you're far enough away that Clementine and your party members can't see you. So if you wanted to drop the disguise self.
Yes.
Okay.
The whole point of that was to make it so that when I can drop friends.
Okay, sure. So
'Cause
all that happened there was a couple of spell slots got burned. Got it.
No, because she thinks that friends was cast by Corbin. She now sees Corbin as a specific enemy.
I think that she just doesn't like you, but
No, it's the face that she saw. Corbin's face is the one that she saw.
I mean, it just okay.
Sure, she saw you. She saw Corbin for a second. Yep, that's true.
That was the whole point of that exercise.
Okay. Are you returning, or is that you're just gonna drop that and stay in the backyards?
I'm gonna stay in the backyards and go exploring, try and find a marketplace.
Sure, you're gonna head off on your own. Okay.
Yep.
While you're doing that, Clementine will keep speaking with the other party members. So one of you is in a different country, and one of you just left the. So now we're down to just 2 party members, and Rim.
Well, Rim's here.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna ask her in Elvish because I can speak it.
Awesome.
Where is a good
So can I.
a good inn at?
Oh yes. She speaks in Elvish back to you guys out of politeness. She kind of like almost like bows a little to you guys before speaking. Yes, I can help you with any of that. You are adventurers, right? I can help you with anything you'd like. I can tell you where things are in the town. I could be your guide.
Oh, totally. That'd be great. Thank you.
Did you end up rolling insight on her?
No.
Yeah, I think he did, but
I think you were like inspecting the. Oh, Rim tried to. Yeah. Sure. Okay. I just wanted to. I was gonna maybe throw a little extra at you, but if you guys haven't really, Rim knows nothing about what he's just like taking everything she says at face value. He's starting to wonder if maybe she's a werewolf, just like as a completely rolled a nat 1 curiosity. He's like, could she be a werewolf? No, that's not right. Oh, sick! Getting them subs. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Out. Oh, no problem. Yeah, he's weirded out for sure.
Yeah, he's not entirely sure what's going on with her, but since May is taking her at face value, he's not too concerned. Yes, I can take you to I can take you somewhere where a tavern, place to stay. Sure. Yeah, follow me this way, and she starts walking down the road. Assuming you guys are following her.
Yeah, we'll follow.
So I just wanted to ask again, what is Blanford looking for?
I'm looking for uh a I'm looking for a place to stock up on food supplies that we
Okay.
don't run out of
Sure.
rations again.
Sure. Yeah, you can just roll investigation for me, and that'll kind of determine how long it takes for you to eventually find something like that. So as the rest of you are walking with Clementine, she says, "Oh yes, I can take you. We have more than one, of course, in the city. Are you looking for something affordable or somewhere higher crust? You just need food, refreshments. I mean, we have it all here in Luane. I almost said Roland by accident.
Um, I suppose just wherever we can. Yeah, we just kind of need a place to stay the night for now. It doesn't need to be anything too posh, I suppose.
Okay, for sure.
Well, 16.
A 16. Okay, so it's not bad. You're gonna be muddling your way through the crowds for a bit. Again, you are definitely gonna get a couple of looks because you're a human in the elf. They don't seem concerned necessarily, but they do. You do seem an oddity, so you're getting looks, but like no one's like hiding their children, right? They're not like, oh no, there's a hide now. So
I speak Elvish, and I'm going to speak exclusively in Elvish.
Okay, it's awesome that all three of you speak Elvish because it will probably make people be a little nicer to you. That's for sure.
I speak Elvish with a bad accent. Probably.
They do speak Common though, which is how she originally introduced herself when she dropped everything.
My Elvish is probably not the best Elvish that you learned in the good schools. I've learned Elvish but the Elvish I learned is probably not would not pass muster at court.
I don't know if anyone who attended a school, but yeah, okay.
You know, like the Elvish I know would probably not pass muster at the court at
Sure.
at a high at Ava high court.
Sure. So, Clementine's taking you along. She says, okay. There's a place called the Greedy Goblin. It's a nice tavern. It's not the fanciest, but I think you'll find what you need there. She's walking along, and you guys are walking, traveling a bit.
What can you tell us about the city and the elves here?
History? Yes. Oh, I know plenty. Or if you're looking for something beyond my knowledge, we do have a royal library here that you can find more information about anything. Dear me, where are you from abouts? Oh, sorry, you said Boulder. I remember. All of you?
Well, I mean that's Elven. It's an Elven town, but I believe Fjorn's from the human realm, wherever you call it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The north.
You don't want to say you're from where you were conscripted from. You want to say you were from the Cold Lands.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, and she accepts that as not strange. From far. Yes. Okay. It seems strange for you to be this far south, but totally understandable. I mean, adventurers like yourselves must travel all over.
Wait, you're from the north?
Yep.
Oh, I thought all the humans came from the south.
Like a different continent, we're talking even. So he must have traveled. Well, I guess if I'm not sure how much we talked about this in game, but if we haven't,
another continent.
Yeah. So if May. Yeah, how much of this does we know? I know the Black Fang explained the existence of the other continent when he was talking about what had happened to himself and
I thought there was just one continent. What's going on?
And the Cabal, and no, there's a continent north of Caldania known as just the Cold Lands. I'm not 100% sure if you had known that Fjorn was from there, but you're gonna assume that he must have traveled by boat or something to this continent, which may or may not actually be the case.
Well, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to ask about that later. But yeah, otherwise,
Yeah, you
just
learned about Urgard as well, which is the god worshipped in the Cold Lands, and I I feel like Fjorn had admitted to that being his god as well. Um, I don't know how much more he told you though, because he is pretty tight-lipped about a lot of things. So you guys might need to have a few beers and maybe
we
hash it out.
we talked about it, but
Sure. Yeah. So she's starting to bring you guys to the Greedy Goblin. She points out that there are religious shrines here. There's a temple of Ava, of course. She says, of course, like you should just be aware that if a town is, El whatever, that it would of course have a temple of Ava. Shrine of
you
to
worship.
Saloon as well.
Oh, Saloon. I think
Uh,
I've heard of
yes, yes.
worship Ava, or
Sorry.
do you worship Ava?
Oh yes, of course, I do.
I don't really know that much about her, him, it, they.
Well, if you're interested in learning more about them, I can tell you what I know, but I am no scholar. You may best venture to the Temple of Ava and ask them yourselves. I'm sure they will give you sermon on
I'm
sermon.
just kind of curious, like, not just what the religious people say about it. I'm just curious, like, for someone who I suppose you seem pretty normal or streetwise, as it were. Perhaps you just, what you kind of think of the gods and things like that. I never
Oh,
really, my town, we didn't really have a lot of religion, honestly.
I'm not surprised being on the border. I mean, you're also young, my child, and you notice this phrase that she calls you my child, similar to how the Black Fang called you my child. You kind of catch it in your mind, even in your exhausted state. You're like, huh? Is that my age? Is that why he's calling me that? Or she? Sorry, Clementine. I guess you could. I could have been he or she because you were wondering about the Black Fang as well. Um, yes, Ava is a beautiful, powerful being that protects us. She is glorious and gives us the ability to defend ourselves and fight against the spawn of the Mazgate. You know of the Mazgate?
A little, yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. That will save me a few breaths. Here we are, and you guys have traveled for a bit. You have passed housing as well as you've seen some businesses. You've definitely seen what you imagine to have been a blacksmith, but no one had questioned it, so she didn't explain the blacksmith to you. Definitely, like there's residential areas. There's beautiful, like even park areas. I'm trying to think of what else you may have just accidentally bumped into while you were traveling. Um, yeah, that's probably all the things you've seen. And you arrive at this tavern. It's elven in design. It says the Greasy Goblin at the top. And then there's like a picture of like a goblin like slipping on grease, like etched into it as well. And you guys, it's starting to get a little bit later, so it makes sense for patronage at this kind of an establishment. Do you mind if I come in with you?
Yeah, of course. Do you live near here?
Don't worry about that. Um, yeah, I would love to have a drink and eat with you, if that doesn't bother you.
I'm
kind of nudge and whisper. You kind of want to be careful. She's asking a lot of questions. Really loose about her talking too. It's kind of
yeah, I know. I suppose if you want to have a drink, sure. We'll probably go to bed pretty quick, but maybe we can have
Well,
lunch.
you look like you could eat and just let your feet up for a moment.
Yeah,
I'll
I
get
need
us a
to.
table. And she pushes the door and goes into the Greasy Goblin. You notice like another patron leave or another patron enter as well while you're standing out there for a second. Seems like general respectable patrons, as far as you can tell. There doesn't appear to be like underbelly criminal element to this tavern, which is something you are used to seeing back in the war camp, and May is not used to seeing at all.
So, do you think that Blamford is gonna sleep on the street or something? Cause he just kind of took off.
It's just you.
Probably
I'm
just
going to
probably
cast
got
message
lost.
and ask where you are. I'm gonna cast message and ask if and see if I can if they're in the 120-foot range.
No.
120 feet.
Yep. I'm gonna point in
I'm gonna
various
say
directions.
I'm gonna say no, that they're not within 120 feet of you at the moment.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
It's
All
okay.
right
We'll come
then.
back to you when you're investigating in a second. You're not like lost forever. I mean, you'll eventually find your way, and the DM will help in a sec.
I promise I have a plan for what I'm gonna do. Getting lost in a big city is a big part of the game, isn't it?
I suppose it can be. So, are the three of you going in with her?
Yeah, I think we should eat and rest.
Okay. So as you enter the establishment, it's going to be pretty cliche, like, dining area. There's like, tables and people eating. There's, of course, like a bar set up, and then stairs that would probably lead up to some kinds of rooms. There's people working, and she's already sitting at a table, and she's waving. Clementine is waving you guys over to come sit.
Is it a dark area, or is it?
No, it seems lit. There's candles, but I mean it's not that dark yet, so mostly through the windows in the front.
I'll just say to Fjorn, as we're walking over, I think we should probably only have a drink or two and then just go to sleep.
Yeah, we might want to watch the drinks too, because we don't want to get too loose-lipped ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should drink for too long. I mean, maybe we can see her again tomorrow. Again, I'm too exhausted to really, know for certain. She doesn't seem like, a bad person, but I don't know anything about these elves here, so.
Did see us before she run into us, so
She did see us?
yeah.
Well, I mean, did she? I don't know.
But
If we really...
she looked at us and noticed us right before she bumped into you.
I thought that she. Wait, did she? I thought afterwards she was like, "Oh, you guys are adventurers." I mean, she could have been lying, but.
No, I'm pretty sure she looked at us before.
Would you guys sit?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll still sit down.
Okay.
Now I'm suspicious.
She's gonna order for you guys. You do notice that when she speaks to the service staff, she drops the Elvish and is speaking Common. When she orders food and she orders drinks, but then when she returns to you guys, because you've been speaking Elvish with her, she for some reason she does this thing where when she's speaking Common, and then when she switches back to speaking Elvish to you guys, she again like kind of bows to you and then begins speaking Elvish again. And I'm gonna kind of stop you guys from having this. I'm gonna move to Fallstar for a second, but since you guys will be eating and drinking, we can determine how much or how little, or the conversation you have with Clementine in a second. But we're gonna jump.
Oh no! I just had a terrible thought, and oh no!
Yeah, she's secretly a beholder. Don't worry.
No, she is secretly Corin.
First off, I just wanted to, in case anyone was confused, his name is Corbin, like Corbin Dallas, or like the element of the periodic
Corbin
table.
The Fifth Element, the best movie ever.
I just realized that was realized that he's secretly Corbin.
I mean, I guess it's possible. So you've been kind of exploring the town, exploring the city, trying to find your way, looking for somewhere where you might be able to find food or something like that. Provisions of some sort. And you find yourself wandering into the market square. It kind of opens up and is a little bit less homogenized than the rest of the city that you've seen so far. It's like a plaza, if you will, and then and it's fine like sandstone like tiling to this plaza, and then the people have like just like assorted like shops all over the place. They're like market stalls, if you will. If you guys can imagine, like maybe like a flea market or that kind of thing. And as you enter into this place, you're just being like, there's like people with all different kinds of wares. Like you're just surprised by all the plethora of things being presented to you. Not necessarily anything magical, but like foods and raw resources, and even things that have been like crafted, like trinkets. That, again, I'm not talking magical. I'm talking like things that maybe have been whittled or metal worked into beautiful art pieces. It's just a fantastic tapestry of commerce. And definitely places that sell food. There's different kinds of food. You find that there's places that will sell you like street on the street, like eat immediately food, and then there's places that will sell you like raw food as well. Like you could just get chickens, or you could get whatever, and you could take it to wherever you live, and you could have it there as well. People do notice that you stand out a little bit as a human as opposed to an elf, but no one's making a huge deal out of it, and you're able to wander through this market area and find whatever it is your heart desires at this point.
Excellent. I would like to buy is it possible to buy I have this idea to if I did that, it could go so badly, and it could get us kicked out of town. It would be so bad.
If you spend basically the entire campaign getting to this town and get kicked out before Oris returns,
I'm not going to do that. It would be so bad that it could go so badly wrong that I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to do that plan.
it's okay. We're going to get Blanford, Oris, and Fjorn killed, and then you're all going to come back in as elves, and then no one will be a mage whelp, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to go for the by priest kit and run a fake religion scam. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going to buy 40 platinum worth of food for the road.
40 platinum worth of food.
What?
Do you have the bag of holding on you, or is May carrying that?
Oh, I have that.
I have a feeling you could not. You would have
I'm
trouble.
not
You could buy a cart, and the cart, and you'd have to purchase the cart, and the cart would be just stacked from bottom to top, overfilled with food, and then you would still need multiple carts.
Oh,
If that's what you want to do, you could get 40 platinum worth of food. You might actually have trouble if you start asking for 40 platinum of food, getting it from these stalls. They may ask you to actually look for a supplier. I don't think you'd have to buy out like entire stalls of their supplies.
Oh, darn. Because I really do not want to deal with starvation again. I'm sorry.
Sure. So I'm going to say that you walked up to a stall, and you see someone, and he's selling like meats and vegetables, kind of raw produce, and you just say, "I would like to purchase 40 platinum," and he's just like, his eyes go wide, and he's just like,
and he just about has a stroke because it's not something he can provide.
Yeah, he's not even like sure. He's not even. Come again.
Okay.
And also, sorry, are you speaking in Common or Elvish? 'Cause
I'm
you
speaking
did
Elvish.
mention you were going to speak Elvish moving forward.
Exclusively.
So I'm going to
in this
assume you're speaking Elvish.
And he thinks I'm mispronouncing it, and I must be meaning something else.
Yeah, maybe he don't understand the word for platinum.
He
Like, even 40 silver would be a reasonable amount of food for you to be carrying. Like, you could feed yourself for like a week easily or more for like 40 like when you go to the bar, and like the guys at the tavern are not gonna, it's not gonna even cost them a gold to eat, drink, and probably even have a bed for the night. So for you to ask for 4 gold worth of just food, that's a lot of foodstuffs. And that was him assuming silver. When you say platinum, that's times 100. Yeah, he's just confused.
That's an ungodly amount of food. That's like food for a month.
Yeah, it would make more sense for you to try to like purchase a place to live and then stock that with food and then return to town. That would probably be a cheaper plan.
Okay. Okay, he's probably thinking that I learned Elvish, but my teacher gave me bad economics lessons.
I can definitely sell you something. What would you like? And he just kind of like motions his hand towards the goods that are like he's like behind his like if you can imagine, there's like angled like wooden like shelving or whatever, like at waist level and below, and he's standing behind it, and that stuff has the stocked vegetables and meats. The meats are dried. Any meats that aren't dried would be like hanging, or he'd have it behind him. Yeah, you can order whatever you want. You just have to say the thing you want, not necessarily the amount.
I like dried meats and I like
Certainly.
provisions.
Are you planning to travel?
Yes, I like dried meats and bread that flour that we can made into camp bread. And like we've got a bag to put all this stuff in, but also I'd like we don't have anyone who knows how to use this, mind you. But I would like cooking supplies. But nobody knows how to do anything with this.
Cooking utensils? Do you have does anyone have proficiency with cooking utensils?
No.
Okay. Maybe that's something we want to look at down the road, but the cost of cooking utensils you should be able to find. You can definitely purchase that here. If you look it up in D&D Beyond, the cost will be whatever it is. I would imagine like maybe 10 gold. I'm just gonna.
Yep.
I don't know how to spell utensils, so I'm just gonna put cooking.
But there is a.
While me and May's waiting around, I'm gonna pull out my dragon chess set.
Sure. Yeah. You can definitely start playing that while your food arrives and your drinks and the things that get ordered sound appetizing to you, but you can always correct her and order whatever it is you want. So I'm just gonna say whatever you want arrives to you.
1 gold piece.
I'm gonna guess Fjorn wanted like meat and beer, and he's got that. He's got meat and ale right in front of him, and May and Rim have more like traditionally elven dishes in front of them that they would probably be used to. Something that they would have actually probably. She seemed actually partly aware of the things grown at Boulder, and I'm trying to remember as the DM. I know grapes and wine was one of them. I believe it was potatoes, carrots, and I forget the third one. I remember it being on the picture. I guess we can just go there. We'll jump back real quick to Boulder. I'm just gonna bring it there so everyone can. And turnips, carrot, potatoes, turnips, and grapes. Which in the grapes, clearly they made that into the elven wine that you guys, I think, are still carrying the majority of. Yeah. So I mean, the drinks arrive. There's some elven wine, but it's for the table because she wasn't sure if you guys actually wanted it. And then like some general,
Also cabbages. I'd also like cabbages.
Sorry, this wasn't for I'm talking about it at the tavern. Sorry, because
I also want cabbages in my.
Really?
oh, you're just okay. Sure, cabbages. You don't
Also
necessarily need a
for
bag to hold this stuff because you would have a general like adventurer's backpack or whatever that everybody has.
Yeah.
So so you've purchased yourself let's say a week's supply of food for about you know what? How much is a ration? I know you're not ordering rations, but I'll compare it to that.
5 silver.
One silver?
5 silver.
5 silver for a single ration?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna assume rations are more expensive because they're meant to last for a long time. Whereas if you're eating like fresh produce or stuff like that, it's a little bit cheaper. So I'm gonna say like bread, a week's worth of. Are you purchasing food for yourself or for all 5 of you?
Well, I'm purchasing for myself.
Okay, if you're just purchasing for yourself, then yeah, I'm gonna say like negligible amount of. I'm gonna say 5 silver, and you have a week's worth of produce that you're aware of the spoiling rates, and you'll be able to eat the more spoilable food in the first few days, and then you have more. But if you guys stay in town for a week, some of it will probably spoil if you're not eating the stuff you've purchased here. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty negligible the cost. Yeah, so you can have cabbages. You can have You said you wanted flour specifically for like cooking.
Yeah, baking and like that's gonna go on the road because
Definitely. I'm not sure how much anybody would know how to. I'm
Do
not even
anything
sure if
with
you can cook bread. Yeah, I'm guessing you would be able to. I just don't know the processes of it. I know it wouldn't be nothing like the bread makers in modern day, but I'm guessing you could make some kind of unleavened flatbread.
Out of character, I know how to do it.
Yeah, I'm guessing you can. I think I might even refer to a song where they say they can make. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Bannock, which I think is like is kind of like I'm pronouncing it wrong. Bannock. Easy bannock bread. Bannock is a variety of flatbread. I think that's kind of your like southern style. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with all the different kinds of bread, but you might be able to find some way to make something, and obviously the flour will last a lot longer than freshly baked bread. So sure, you have your general feasting supplies. As for the cooking utensils, I had trouble looking it up. If someone happens to
It's cook's utensils.
Oh, cook's utensil. I hate the search on D&D
It's 1
Beyond.
gold.
One gold. Yeah, sure.
If you don't have proficiency in them, I don't know if it's really gonna help much. But
I don't know this as a character.
well, I know. I know. In character, you're not proficient with them.
I know, but I don't know that as a character. I don't. Oh, that wouldn't help because as a character, of course I'm able to do everything because I'm a bard. Of course I can do everything.
You have the cook's utensils. It will probably require either a long time of screwing up meals to learn it naturally, or some kind of training and then more downtime to be given that proficiency, and then someone that will train you, obviously. So we'll work on that. For today, you've just purchased these items. Feel free to ask someone where a tavern might be.
Yes, I will ask for. I've got stuff in my backpack, and I'm going to look for a tavern.
Or you're just going to look. You're not going to ask somebody?
Yes, I will ask.
Okay. So, they're going to ask you a similar question that Clementine asked. They're going to ask, again, you don't know which one they would be at, but he's going to mention, the person you're speaking to is going to mention that they have higher-end places, and they have more reasonable, cheaper places to find respite.
Well,
which kind are you looking for?
the places that sell that make money when you're a bard are the higher end. Obviously, that's where you go.
Are you just purposely trying to? I mean, to be fair, you don't know. You don't know. I just want to know if you did know, and you're purposely choosing the other one. It's on purpose.
No, as a character, he would go to the higher end because that's where you make money as a bard. But
Okay.
I'm not being a pain. I'm just
Target,
as a
select
character,
target
he
page
goes
message.
to the higher end to make money.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
don't think you can use message to find them. You're gonna have to randomly bump into them. That's not how message works. You have to like know
I would have to
and
have
point
sending.
at them.
I don't-
You can't just like point like in a 360 and be like anywhere, anybody, because you're just gonna be everyone's gonna just hear your messages then.
Yeah, it's like it would have to be. I'm not being a pill. I'm just.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to the. I'm trying to perform at a place where I'm gonna make money.
Okay, so he mentions a place to you called the Grand Arbiter, and it's going to be a little travel for you and gives you the general location of it. He's like, go down this way, take a left, take a right. You won't be able to miss it. It's called the Grand Arbiter.
Sounds like tips.
So while you're doing that, because we split the party up, we're gonna go back to Clementine and the main party. So he was purchasing things. Now he's traveling. So you guys have a good amount of time here to do some RPing. You can probably finish your meals or speak with Clementine, and purchase your rooms. No problem in this amount of time. So Fjorn, you're playing chess. Clementine offers to play with you. She says, I can play with you. Would you like a game?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not very good, mind you.
May, I don't think, has ever seen this before, so she's going to watch very intently.
Awesome. So you guys get your food, the stuff you enjoy, your drinks. You can limit your drinks. That's cool. You don't have to drink until you're drunk. You can just have a few drinks because things.
I mean, May is not even really gonna drink
Yeah,
them. I don't think
that's
she normally
fine.
does anyways.
In addition to like the alcoholic beverages, there was just like some general like food beverages. Like there was like she asked you actually in passing if you wanted milk. Maybe would you like some cow's milk with your meal, or we can get you like a vegetable juice if that's what more your style. Because she knows that again you come from vegetable farmers.
Yeah, vegetable juice sounds good.
Okay, and then so she orders something, and it's like a carrot juice, but you're drinking it, and it's like sweeter than the carrot juice that you're used to. It's like it's better. It's like ooh, this is like you know, there's some like extra stuff, extra spices and things added to this that the stuff you're used to consuming from home isn't quite the same because you know they have a limit to what they can get a hold of.
Does she know? Sorry, does it seem like she knows at least like sort of like personally or just in passing even the whoever's serving us?
It doesn't seem like there's a level of camaraderie. It looks more like she's just ordering food like a regular person would order it.
Okay.
So if your question is like, are they secretly both in on some ploy to get me drunk and dead? As far as you can tell, no.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah. You guys complete a game of Dragon Chess. Fjorn, you don't even worry about rolling for it. You handedly defeat her. Unless you were purposely trying to lose. Your skill level is, even as a barbarian whose intelligence levels aren't that great, since you are proficient in playing Dragon Chess, you do defeat her. She knows the basic rules, the casual rules, but as far as being good at it, you actually impress everybody with your abilities.
May is like really interested in playing now.
Well, you guys could play each other.
I can show her how to play.
Yeah, well, she was watching the game. She's like, "Oh, this looks like strategy. Oh, this looks really interesting. Yeah, I wanna play." She checks the time though. Should we maybe one game? I don't know. How long does it take?
Yeah, we could do a fast game.
Okay. I mean, you'll probably. I don't know. Maybe you'll beat me really quick. Is it an intelligence roll? Because I might be good at it, but I might not be.
Maybe you just. We'll just say you don't do too good at it today because you're so tired, but you'll be better at it tomorrow. That's for sure. Did you guys want to ask anything more about Clementine before we wrap up the night and put you guys to bed?
Well, I wanted to ask if.
Or talk with Fjorn even.
Excuse me. I want to ask again if she was, Like, does she live near here? Is she okay walking home?
Um. I live close enough. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Don't worry. It's your needs that I'm concerned about. You notice after she's had a few drinks as well, because she's been enjoying the meal and drinking.
Well, I mean, it's just I don't know. We've never met you before, so it was kind of weird that you. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that the people seem to be so hospitable here, but you seem especially hospitable, if you know what I mean.
So she's gonna let spill her intentions kind of by accident. She doesn't really mean to say it, but when she starts talking about like her day-to-day life and her work and her station, and you kind of get the feeling that her social status within the city is relatively low, and that she sees you guys because you're adventurers and because you're clearly going to be skilled at things and have the potential to leave an impression on the city. She sees you guys as like a stepping stone for her socially. So she's trying to like win your favor and help you as much as possible, so that if you do things and like help the town, her name can kind of get like footnoted on as well.
Okay.
Like, I'll help you. I can help find work or information and help you guys. Yes. And yeah, you guys are probably a little put off by the like forwardness of her actions, but it seems very innocent and genuinely helpful. Sorry.
Just say the reason why I'm suspicious is I did notice you make eye contact with us before you bumped into.
Yes, I apologize. I recognized you as adventurers, and I just wanted a chance meeting so that I could. It was a bit of a move. I apologize.
I mean, I guess yeah, that's kind of lame, but I suppose I understand where you're coming to. I've never grown up in such a big city like this, so I guess it might be hard to, you know, uh, have people recognize you for who you are and stuff. If you got something to share. Well, I mean, again, we should probably go to sleep. I'm so tired, and I think Rim's half asleep right now. But
Well, if it's cool, if you guys are cool with it, I just realized the time, and I would like to take a quick $5.
oh yeah, no problem.
And then we can come back and you can conclude. Sorry, unless you have something quick you just want to throw in there
I
before.
mean, I just wanted to basically say before we go to sleep, I just wanted to be like, I want to talk again because I'm curious about the library and other stuff. So the next day,
Yes. Well, she
She
lets you know that she will be waiting for you guys back here again in the morning.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, don't skip out on your job, but yeah, for sure. Thanks.
She makes it sound like it's not a big deal, but that's actually, it does seem like possibly she has decided to forego her regular life in pursuits of this. So it's possible she does actually have something to do tomorrow and she's canceling it immediately.
Fjorn, take her.
She is like a fully matured woman too. If you were wondering, she doesn't look like May does as a child.
Yeah, easily 500 years old.
She's not like terribly attractive. She looks plain. She looks like a plain. Like if you were in the wilderness for 3 days and haven't seen a woman, she would appear attractive to you. but in comparison to the rest of, like, she's not aggressively attractive.
I mean, compared to like a human woman, she'd be attractive because elves are always so hot, right? But totally joking.
Yeah, I don't know. She's got like a 10 or 11 in charisma or something. You know, like she's an average like person.
Just a normal. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. So if you guys don't have anything else, and I'll worry about what happens to False Star when we come back from the break. I just thought I'd give everybody the quick 5-minute washroom break in the middle. I will be back in a couple of
We
minutes.
don't
Anyone
worry
watching?
about it. He's definitely dead, but
Yeah, exactly. I'll come back and we'll hear about all the. Well,
Happy
another
stream.
thing you guys might want to do before sleeping is you have not used the dice today.
Who has them?
So I don't know if that's something you guys want to do. Now, I think you guys originally tried to split it up, Blanford and May each taking one, but because the magical item is 2 dice, I would like them to be a set of dice to be at someone's possession. So
I'll hold on to them because I have the bag of holding.
it does make sense that you would have them, and that Blanford would have to find you if he wants to be rolling these dice. So, anyways, we'll take the bathroom break and deal with it. I just wanted to let you guys think about that before going to sleep.
Obviously, I'm going to go to my friends who are obviously in the place where, in the rich tavern where they obviously are, because they need me to make money there off of tips.
Obviously.
This is obviously where they are. There's the only sensible course of action.
Okay, I'll be right back. You guys can keep talking if you want. It's fine.
I gotta grab some too.
I have returned. How's everyone doing? Watching the stream, campaigning with the party. Oh. Dab. My cabbages! Gotta spend money to make money. That's true.
I'm back.
Awesome. I think it's just us two, actually.
Hello?
Hello. Still.
I have decided that what I'm going to order when I get to that bar is something absolutely atrocious.
Something atrocious? That doesn't sound.
Yes, I'm gonna post it on Discord.
This is what you're ordering? You're gonna get to the Grand Arbiter and this is what you're ordering?
Uh-huh. A drink before I do my performance. I'm not sure if this is gonna require a Constitution check. Actually,
Okay, so
Okay, I'm here.
as you arrive at the Grand Arbiter, it is an extravagant building. It is large. It has like silks and expensive woods building the exterior. It's called the Grand Arbiter. There's no slipping goblin. It takes itself seriously. There's even a man who's well dressed, waiting to open the door for you to allow you to enter the building. They don't stop you. You do seem a little underdressed overall as an adventurer, but they allow you to enter. When you get in, it is a nice place. It has tables.
Maybe I'll do this after my performance.
Sure. There definitely is a stage that would probably have live. I'm gonna say there is live music going on right now. It's very light. It's just like one person playing a harp on stage, just kind of off to the side, and another person that is singing, but is like drinking water right now and isn't actually singing. There are people eating there. Most of them. There are some people that are dressed more like you, and a little bit less on the high end. But there are people on the because they're aware that anybody can have a lot of gold in the Final Fantasy world. So I mean, some people are there not in fancier attire, but some people are definitely wearing a higher class of outfits. I'm gonna give you.
I have a terrible idea of what to do, but I don't want to.
So, sorry, did you message me the thing you wanted to?
I posted it on Meridian Falls. Click.
Should I assume that
It's atrocious.
Meridian Fall, not Meridian Falls.
I've said it wrong too before.
It sounds like a waterfall.
I know. I think there actually is a Meridian Falls in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know of it. Like, I've never been there. I didn't even know. I Googled it, and I was like, oh, Canada, of course. You have a random waterfall. How dare you?
I mean, it sounds like a dope name for a waterfall, honestly.
It really does.
It does. Maybe that's where we'll do our live streaming of this game.
Oh, that'd be awesome if it's a play. Do we go there?
Yeah, and the backdrop is like an actual waterfall while we're playing outside. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
It'd be kind of loud, but
it would have to be in the 2 nice weather days in Canada every year that we get.
Yeah, when you aren't in your igloos.
Yeah, exactly.
Igloos?
Yeah.
Are
you making fun of my igloo? Why are you making fun of my igloo?
I think your igloo looks great for being made of pure ice. I mean, that poster stays up all the time.
Yeah, that's right. You can see me right now.
I'm going to
Sure, you can order that. I don't know if that exact form of mixed drink exists in this world, but you can get something very similar to it.
Okay.
You order it.
Would that require a Constitution check?
Do you immediately down it? Is that it doesn't take a Constitution check to receive a drink and hold it. No.
To chug it.
You're gonna just chug the. Okay, and you're not getting a table or anything. I'm assuming you approach the bar. I'm gonna say that there's a bar here, and you sit at one of the stools so that they can take your order, or maybe there's standing room and you're managing to do this standing.
Mm-hmm.
And you order the beverage, and they ask you if you want a seat, and I'm guessing you turn that down.
I'm gonna take a seat and watch the performance.
Sure.
And while I'm going to tap my earring and cast and while I've got my with a drink in one hand and I'm drinking it, I'm going to tap the earring and cast Enemies Abound on the player on the musician.
Okay, I just want to confirm that when I gave you the,
It's a musical instrument.
you can. Okay, so you're using it for the somatic, but not the verbal, right?
It is a. Oh, it's a verbal too. Okay, I'll speak
Sorry,
the
you're
verbal.
casting, and you're going into this establishment, and you're okay. I'm just trying to.
A spell on somebody.
I'm gonna say the verbal into my drink.
It's okay. Fine. We're just gonna next morning. We'll just.
I'm gonna say
You
the
just
verbal
will have
into my
another
drink.
member of your party not with you. It'll be fine.
We'll just
His
I'm
body
gonna say the
wearing.
verbal. I'm gonna say the verbal into my drink as I take a sip.
not how it works.
So you didn't down your drink yet. You haven't even consumed
As
it.
I say the verbal into my drink as I take a sip.
You what the fuck?
Okay, you definitely. I'll roll for it, but you definitely get the attention of the people around you. So I did roll kind of low, so it's only gonna be like it's not gonna be the whole room. It's only gonna be like a couple of people at the bar. There's a table near you. The people eating there are like looking at you now, and the bartender is taking a step back as you take your 6 seconds to prepare. Enemies Abound, and who are you casting this on?
The person who's playing music.
The person on the harp.
The fuck?
Okay. You reach into the mind of one creature you can see and force it to make an intelligence saving throw. A creature automatically succeeds if it is immune to being frightened. On a failed save, the target loses. This isn't charming though, right?
No.
I think it's frightened. If you look at it's enchantment. It has the spell inside the thing.
Each time the target takes damage, it can repeat the saving throw.
It's gonna start.
Okay, sure. I mean, as far as I can tell, she's just gonna freak out and be scared, right?
No, he's gonna start attacking everybody.
No, they're gonna see them as enemies, but they're not combatants. They don't know how to fight.
Oh, that's true.
They're just gonna run. If there was suddenly a group of goblins, they wouldn't take up weapons and start fighting the goblins. They're civilians.
That's true. I mean, I guess it depends on the character. If they would a fighter.
Given the general stats of a regular person, yeah, they failed. They rolled a 9. So yeah, when the affected creature chooses another, again, they're not gonna fight. They're gonna. They will immediately be surrounded by like devils in their mind for sure, or see everybody as a massive threat. So they're gonna stop playing the harp immediately. She's gonna stop. She's gonna look, and she's gonna scream bloody murder. And the second she does, the people around you that were aware that you were casting something stand to their feet and start like motioning everybody's attention towards Blanford at this point. Somebody's saying to call the guard at this point. No one in the building looks like they have military prowess. Some people, you're hearing some people telling you to just leave. Some people are saying, "Get out of here! What are you doing?" And some people are saying they are saying arrest him or like call the guard or whatever. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go up and play music.
Okay, so you're gonna people are standing physically in your way that you'll have to push through. Is that what you want to do?
Grapple him.
I'm going to say that I don't understand why everyone thinks that there's such a problem. She's obviously disturbed and
she's just like bawling now. She's just like, she's gotten off her chair, she's like curled up on the floor, and she's just bawling. And then the person who is singing stops singing and is like gone over to her and is trying to like comfort her, but then she immediately freaks out at their touch and backs up further. And so then they're just like, whoa, I don't know what's going on. And they're really kind of confused about it. You notice that Sorry, so you're just gonna tell the people to get out of your way as you move towards
Well,
the...
I'm not going to tell them. I'm going to ask. I'm going to say I don't understand what you're so upset about. I was just making this drink.
This is not appropriate for this kind of establishment. Get him out of here! I'm trying to eat my dinner.
I was just making my drink. Taste nicer.
And the bartender's like fully aware at this moment too that you haven't even paid for the drink yet, because he didn't even like offer. He didn't even tell you how much it cost yet because he thought you were sitting there and going to have a drink. So he's like a little concerned as well that you might be some. He hasn't said it like out loud and pointing at you, but he's like mumbling it, and someone else is like, "What? A thief as well?" And like rumors are spreading around the room now. Some of the people that you were probably, I'm going to be honest here, some of the people you were probably planning to grift, some of the higher end royalty, will now have seen your face. I'm just letting you be aware of that they would be eating here. And they've seen you do something, and the word may get around.
This went so badly.
I suppose you can push past, like they're not gonna fight with you. You're actually, even at I think your strength might be 8. Even at an 8, I guess they would be stronger than you, but they're not used to fighting. They're not used to like physical confrontation. So it does not take much effort for you to like, even just like touching them, they kind of move out of the way and are like offended by your touch. So, I mean, you do have to push through a crowd, but you can make your way to the stage, but you have the attention of everyone is seriously pissed at you at this moment. You hear some people saying like, they're just like really like disgusted that you've ruined their evening. The music, is obviously gone. The woman is still bawling her eyes out and no one can help her.
I'm going to drop the concentration on that spell.
Okay.
Start. Try to calm everybody down. It's like, I don't understand why you're so upset. I was trying to.
She stops crying. She stops like bawling. She's just kind of like staring at you. She doesn't know it was you though, so she's just staring at this person that everyone's yelling at, and her makeup and her tears running down her face, and the person is now able to come and comfort her and is patting her on the back and trying to make her feel better, and she's just like taking deep breaths. I suppose, I mean, at this moment there still has been no one of martial quality to stop you, so I mean, if you would like to start playing something,
I'm going to start. I'm going to first try to calm everybody down with just general patter, chat for a little bit, talk about how in Elvish, give them some.
Which actually, you have noticed that most people, when they are speaking to you, they all just speak common.
Yes, I'm going to speak
but you
Elvish.
Can continue to speak Elvish for sure. When you spoke to the bartender in Elvish, he spoke back in Elvish. But when the people got up from their seats to yell at you, they were speaking in common.
Yes. I'm going to give a. I'm going to talk about. Just the. I'm going to give a talk about how. I'm going to give first. I'm going to give a comedy bit about the.
Sure. You're gonna try to assuage the crowd. You can give me either a performance or a persuasion, depending on how you'd like to do it. If you're trying to convince them that you didn't cast the spell, you may need to roll deception.
Yes, I'm going to try to convince them that I didn't cast a spell. I'm also trying to give them. I'm also going to try and seed information about what I. About the stuff that we've been doing. About the stuff about the.
I'm gonna say the first thing you need to do is assuage the crowd. So let's have you roll. I'll let you do performance or persuasion. No. Did you roll? Okay, you rolled a natural 1. So as you were trying to convince them, it went about as good as everybody else, all the other players are expecting it to go. You just greatly piss everyone else off far further, and they are absolutely certain that you need to leave.
That was the only that check was the only way out of it.
More or less, yeah. So by this
Oh my God.
point,
I have a +9.
a man comes in the front entrance, and he starts saying, "The guard is on the way. Leave now." And the rest of the crowd hears it, and they're kind of turning to you, and they're just like, so you actually get hit by like a tomato, like just like splats against your clothing. I'm not gonna roll for it. You got hit because you're terrible deception.
16 damage.
So
Do I get a festering wound off of the tomato?
From the tomato.
you're just so far you're just being very aggressively asked, like in the most polite, other than the tomato, I suppose, way to leave at this moment. It's up to you. I mean, I suppose you could attempt to assuage the crowd again if you wanted.
Yes.
We're talking not deception. It's performance, or I mean, I know it's probably +9 for all of these things.
Okay.
But you're either gonna that's fine. You roll deception instead, but I'm gonna take it as as persuasion. I'm gonna take the 22. I'm taking the 22. So you're trying to convince the crowd to like calm down and not like attack you. And it's working to some degree where they're like not going to kill you. Like 'cause some of them are like, you're not 100% sure, but you're starting to question. Like some of them like pick up their utensils like they might use it as a weapon. No one brought weapons other than you. They are still asking you to leave very aggressively, and over the next few seconds, you see 2 military guard step in the front door, and they are now at the door's entrance, and they're yelling at you, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the crowd are pointing, "It's this man! It's this man!"
I would like to try to explain that I do not understand why they're so angry. This is my
The man. Sure, you can do another persuasion if you'd like.
Oh my God.
While you're rolling, the person beside them, the man who called them, is explaining everything that happened, and some of the people that were near you are over there explaining what happened. That they saw you cast spells, that the woman was, accosted, and that you've completely ruined the evening for everyone. And these people are people with, royals. Some of them have like a high social status, so it's going to be difficult for you to explain. So you start explaining that you're trying to calm the crowd again, and the people around you are now like, some of the people nearby are starting to listen to what you're saying, and they're just like, whatever, and they sit back down to potentially start eating again. The girl who's crying is like dabbing. She's like trying to clean herself up. Someone's handed her like a handkerchief or whatever, and she's like trying to clean up. And then the 2 of them like leave out some like back way. So it's just basically you with some like really. There's some of the crowd is pretty pissed at you, and the 2 guards are moving forward, and they say, "You need to leave now. This is not a question, and it's not a request."
Okay. I thought this would be the place to. I thought this was the place where I would find everybody. So
You look around and you do not see Fjorne or Rim.
All right.
Which I'm surprised wasn't the very first thing you did, but that's okay.
As I leave,
Okay, so you are accepting the terms, and you are walking out the
yeah.
door?
As I leave, I make my as I just head out. Like this apparently was a mistake. This place is trash.
So you're out on the street now. The 2 guards are with you. The bartender comes rushing out the door and says, "He still owes me 2 silver for the drink."
Oh,
And
fine, whatever. I didn't drink it, and you.
Shouldn't he overcharge him? No, I'm just kidding.
maybe he did. The guards tell you, they start questioning you. They say, "Why are you here? What are you doing in El Luane?"
There's the 2 silver if you really want it.
Okay, well that helps. You pay the bartender, and he looks at you with like a death stare, but then also bows to you with politeness, because you are his patron at this point. And so he returns, and you can hear him like almost make out some kind of elvish curse word as he moves back into the building. And the 2 guards will continue to interrogate you, asking you what your purpose here is.
My purpose is, again, always in Elvish. My purpose is to look after my companions who abandoned some of whom abandoned the human army's military, and others are small children, small child elves, and because we've discovered a cult of Mazgate worshippers are the ones who are behind the
Sure.
perpetuation of the
I feel
war
like most
on-
of this is truth, so I'm going to let you do another persuasion check. It's the thing you're good at, +9, so we're doing it on purpose. As you try to convince the guards that you're here for righteous means.
Like there's a cult of Mazgate worshippers who are the ones who are perpetuating this war, and we're trying to find out.
They say they don't know they don't understand about the war. They also speak to you, unlike everyone else so far. When you speak to them in Elvish, they speak back to you in Elvish. They continue to speak in Common, even though you're speaking in Elvish. These 2 guards tell you they are unaware of any of the war that you're talking about. They know about the Mazgate. They're not sure about who these individuals are, but they ask you to return to them. This is a fine establishment. We don't need people doing the things you're doing here. Can you please find your friends and leave? They're not telling you to leave the city. They're telling you to leave the area.
I don't know where my friends are. I thought they would be here.
Well, I don't know where they would be. Give me a second to try to hand wave how we can possibly figure out how to get this all together.
He has to sleep on the street.
Yeah, so as this is all happening, all this craziness happens, and you're out there on the street, Clementine is walking by, and she catches the eye of you and the 2 guards, and vaguely remembers seeing you before you changed into Corbin's shape. Also notices that you're an adventurer and kind of puts some 2 to 2 together. And she comes over and she says, Oh, what seems to be the problem here? And the guards start to explain that this is a troublemaker. Are you one of his friends? Do you want to add anything?
There's no trouble. I'm looking for my dear companions. Would you know where they are, grandmother?
You call her grandmother?
Boy.
Okay.
Always.
Sure.
Dang, what the hell?
Totally fine. She, for some reason, and you're speaking to her in Elvish, and she stops, does her nod thing, and then starts speaking to you in Elvish again, or not again, but for the first time you've witnessed this level of respect from somebody, and she says, "Oh yes, I know where they are. I can take you to them. They're not here." And the guards then say, "Good, get rid of him, and he will not be allowed back in this place ever again. Banned for life. We do not want to see him around here."
Oh. Okay.
The guards go back in. One last thing before my DM hand waving ends. you will get something interesting out of this. A patron comes out of the building once the guards are gone, and he comes out to see that you're still there. This man is dressed very nicely. Some of the people were dressed very nicely, or were dressed nice, or like in royal attire. But this man is like a suit. Like he's nice. He looks real nice. Oh, throw another tomato. He totally should. But honestly, the patrons just want a nice dinner. They don't want trouble. As the upper crust, they're not used to anything like this, and this probably will make someone go home and vomit. When they try to explain when they tell their friends. Some of them are actually excited. They were mad at the time, but some of them are like, oh, I have this cool story that no one will believe, and I'll be the talk of... they're just excited to be part of, like, the rumors that will be spread. But anyways, this man specifically comes out, and he says, are you an adventurer?
I am. Do you have need of one?
He pauses for a second, and then again starts speaking in Elvish, because he doesn't do the nodding thing that Clementine does, but he does speak to you in Elvish out of respect. My name, and he holds out his hand, my name is Dapper Dan. And you notice he has a cane in the other hand too, like a nice cane in the other hand, and he holds out his hand to shake your hand.
Hmm?
And you just stare him down?
No, I put up mine.
Okay, sure. So we shake hands and we do a basic greeting. Excellent. I was wondering, I need to hire some help. You're only one man, though, but you seem to have some skill. Do you know anyone else? I feel like I could use more than one man help me on this.
I do. I do have friends.
Excellent. Do you know where you'll be staying? I would love to come and contact you with a job offer, if that's all right.
I'm not sure where they are, but this dear lady knows where they are, and I'm following her there.
Clementine kind of bows a little to Dapper Dan. Oh, excellent! Yes, I will give you all their information, and I will definitely help you out with this. I am their go-between. I help them get their businesses in order. And Dapper Dan accepts this as true. And honestly, unless you want to roll insight, you're going to believe it as well, Falstar, because you were not there.
I will, because
Awesome.
I just got rolled. I'm not in the...
So she gives you basic... The three of you start walking down the street. She explains to you that they're staying at the Greasy Goblin, that they already have rooms, they already have...
I rolled myself, and I'm in a mood. So I just rolled insight.
You did.
So,
you did roll insight. Did you actually want to know if she was telling the truth or not?
I would, but if you could text it to me.
Well, I mean, I don't have to because the other players are aware of the conversations they had with Clementine.
Yeah.
They spoke with her. Maybe informally she mentioned this as an idea, but they hadn't, like, agreed to it. So you can tell by some of the way she's wavering. She believes it to be true, but possibly, you mean, you with a 23 insight, you can kind of see through it that she might be kind of forcing her way into this role.
Okay.
But you walk back, and she explains to Dapper Dan that there's how many other people there are. She kept track of like what weapons they were carrying, and she's pretty certain she saw a spell book and blah blah blah. And she's been keeping tabs on you guys like baseball players. I know I think I said baseball in my. As a Canadian, I don't actually care anything about... I should be saying hockey if I cared about a sport I care about, but I like to say baseball because I figured an audience that's more American would probably understand a baseball reference over a hockey reference. But because two of the people in the other campaign are European, they just said, what the hell's baseball? But anyways, they're keeping she's like keeping stats on you, and she hasn't written any of this down. She's just explaining it like... this is what they can do. I'm pretty certain. What are you looking for? And he explains that he needs like an escort. Let me just have Dapper Dan's escort. It's not okay. Sorry, I have to make sure I don't mix this up.
It can be an
He
escort
explains that he needs to go into the Shadowfell, but needs guards to help him. He knows of a place where there's an entrance, and we can go there. And then we'll have to travel a distance once we've gone into the Shadowfell. I can pay 2,000 gold up front and another 2,000 on my safe return. The only thing I need is a flower that specifically only blooms in the Shadowfell. And I know where they are. We go there, I collect 2 or 3 of them, and we return. I can't say for certain what kind of dangers will exist. The obvious dangers that exist in the Shadowfell. That's the quest. And when I'm gonna kind of speed through this. Blanford arrives at the Greasy Goblin. You guys get the room. Clementine make sure everybody knows what's going on, and she assures you that she'll return in the morning, and then continues to speak with Dapper Dan for a bit. And you, at some point, either now or in the morning, explain to the other party members what you overheard about Dapper Dan. But if you guys have any more questions about particulars, you can speak with Clementine in the morning. But I'm going to consider that the end of the day. You guys can have your long rest. You can get no one has exhaustion anymore. Everyone's good to go. But I guess the last thing before anyone wants to do that, you guys are all there and aware. There's time for you to leave town, roll the dice, and then return if that's something you want to do, and you'll still get your full rest in the morning. You probably don't want to roll magical dice in town. Especially
yes,
since
do. We absolutely want to roll them in town. We want to have a spectator. We want to have a...
Well, you're not the one holding them at the moment, so we'll leave it to... So you guys are technically still awake right before the end here. May and Fjorn.
So we got a room, right?
Yeah, you guys have a room. You each have one, actually. They're all singles.
Okay.
So I guess 4 rooms, which is a lot of rooms.
I guess I'll roll the dice. I was considering rolling dice before to see how well I did again, but I feel like I'm just gonna
get exhausted a second time and be really pissed.
I'm gonna roll really well the first time, and then the second time I roll is gonna be super bad. So I'm just gonna do the one time. I don't remember what is it 2d6s or something? Or...
Yes, they're each a d6. There's 6 different icons on the sides. There's a dragon, a snake, a lion, a crown, and 2 of them are skulls. And you rolled both the skulls last time, and you learned that if you roll a single dice and it lands on a skull, it will drain your life and give you a point of exhaustion. And you know that rolling 2 dice will have more powerful effects, but you don't know anything particular about them other than it will be compounded.
Yeah, I guess I'll roll.
Okay, so...
Or wait, maybe I should have... I don't know, I feel like I want to roll them individually, too, because I want to see all the abilities they have. I'll do both of them.
You're going to roll both of them at once? Does everyone agree to allowing May to do this?
Yes, I would love to see this.
If I'm in a room by myself, then May is...
Oh, no. You have the wherewithal to know you should not be rolling both these in town. You're tired as heck, but you are aware that rolling magical dice that could have anything happen, other than, you've seen Blanford casting magic in town and just doing stuff he probably shouldn't be. You have the wherewithal to know you should not be rolling these in the city limits. I mean, if you choose to, you can. I can't stop you as a DM, but as the DM, as well as your own conscience, is strongly asking you not to roll them in town. And like I said, you have enough time. It's still not that late. You can leave town, roll the dice, see what happens, and then return to town, and it won't affect your long rest.
Sure, why not?
But you can, if you want to roll them in your room.
I don't know. Is it gonna cast fireball on me or something?
You don't know. That's the thing. You have no idea what it does. It could open an interplanetary barrier to another realm, and demons could come pouring in. You don't know. So I mean, rolling it inside your room. I mean,
I'm gonna do it in my room. I think that this is gonna be the last time that Nat 1 Arcana check comes in.
Oh my god. Okay. There's there's a chance you make a roll. Oh my goodness. I put it in there. I can't take it back.
I know. That's
Okay.
what I'm. That's the whole
In
thing. I'm like, I
your
don't.
room. In your room.
Please
I have
roll.
no.
Don't roll. God damn. Okay.
I have no reason to know
After
what these
you
do.
after you guys
The
roll
last time I
this,
rolled it, it gave me exhaustion. There's no reason to think that it's gonna do something like anything. I don't know. I'm doing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
okay, so you have to roll two separate. Okay, that'll count. A 5 and a 1. Give me 1 second, and I'll discover what those. I'm pretty sure the thing I don't want to have happen just happened though.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh no, it's okay. So the 5 I know is a skull, and I'm pretty sure the 1 is a snake. I have to look it up. I'm having trouble remembering how to look at my own homebrews for a second because I'm flustered.
That's fine.
Give me
Don't
one
be-
moment. I'm pretty sure you just
here,
made the
so-
thing happen. Okay, no, sorry. A skull plus a... Okay. You... we got lucky.
Yes.
Not really for May specifically. You're actually going to be really annoyed and confused why you ever roll these dice ever. That particular combination of rolls, as per I'm looking at the, I didn't just come up with this. This is what I wrote down before. Is actually a rather benign effect. So when you roll these two dice, you see one come up as a snake, one come up as a skull. And the dice do something very similar to you saw before. And you may just decide to throw these dice away after. The two of them grab hold of you and drain 1 level of exhaustion from you again, collectively. So you don't take 2. It's not compounded in this situation. It is just like a miscellaneous roll that takes 1 level of exhaustion from you.
Wait, so I have a level of exhaustion?
Well, you would have 2, and then you're going to take a long rest, and you'll be back down to 1 again. But Rim will actually be not... You're going to have a 1 maintaining into the next day, yes.
Okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah,
so-
I know. You're looking at this being like, wow, these suck. Why did the DM just give me dice that makes me roll exhaustion all the time? While you finish rolling the dice, I'm going to give you... After doing this, you will net some information about the dice. So I'm going to give you guys the D6 roll table. I'm going to keep the double rolls, which is what you just did, a secret, just because.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I'll tell you what 1 through 5 and 6 are, so that you don't think they're all just an exhaustion every time. So,
Well, they are.
if you roll a 5 or 6, which is a skull, you receive 1 level of exhaustion. On the double rolls, if you roll a skull matching with anything else, you'll get 1 level of exhaustion. I know I wasn't going to tell you double rolls, but that I had to kind of explain the one you just got. If you roll a snake, you will immediately take 3d6 poison damage and have the poison status condition for 2 hours. Now that I've covered the 3 bad rolls, which is 50-50, the 3 good rolls are, if you roll the lion, it will immediately create a potion of healing in front of you. If you roll the crown, which is a 4, you will create a bag of gold will appear in front of you with 30 gold coins in it. And if you roll the dragon, a 3, the lion is a 2, by the way. I don't know if I said that. The dragon, if you roll a 3, it creates a necklace of fireballs with a single bead on it. Or if you already have a necklace of fireballs, it will add 1 bead to it, which is, like you were asking, a fireball. You can throw it to create a fireball. So 3 of those rolls net you items. 2 of them give you exhaustion and 1 does damage. So if you have no exhaustion and you do it right before bed, it's 50-50 good, 50-50 does nothing. Because as long as you can survive the damage, you'll just sleep and then you'll just sleep and recover the drawback. So even though all you've had is drawback so far, theoretically, if you're using this dice properly, it is net positive. But as for rolling double rolls, you're not sure. You have a feeling that rolling 2 of the same icon will have effects, and that that there's a potential for something that could be bad if it happened in a town. That's all you need to know.
Okay, cool.
Always roll
The
in
next
power.
time you roll this, you'll learn everything about the dice. The next time you roll these dice, I will give you the title of the dice, and you can just add them to your inventory, and it will have the entire roll list. And then you can decide if you ever want to roll them or not. And I have a feeling that if you decide not to, Blanford will constantly try to roll them because some of the good stuff and some of the crazy stuff is fun. So,
Roll them every single time.
yeah, well, all right. I know it's kind of anticlimactic and disappointing to just get exhaustion again, but you were actually very close to rolling something horrible, and I'm just really glad it didn't happen, because I don't know what would have happened. I have honestly have no idea how he would have handled it. I think I would have had to... I have a feeling there wouldn't have been a greasy goblin. It's funny, because I'm looking at my notes now, and I actually called it the greedy goblin. I have to change that to greasy. Oh, well.
It's not the prancing pony.
It's not the prancing pony, no. It's the greasy goblin. I like that it's the picture of a goblin slipping on some oil. I like that better, so.
I feel like greedy goblin doesn't sound quite as disgusting, but...
Well, you went to the greasy goblin, and if you don't like it, you'll have... Maybe there's a greedy goblin in town as well. And if you just look around, you can also go to the greedy goblin.
Okay, so I'm still fucking exhausted.
Yeah, you still have your 1 point of exhaustion. It really sucks. But you could have let someone else roll it or done something else. I mean, it was your choice. You could have rolled something awesome, though. There are definitely beneficial things that it can do, so. Anyway, the night ends. Your dice recharge with their power. You all get your long rest. May goes from 2 exhaustion back down to 1. Rim is now no longer exhausted. Normally, you would spend some time with Oris exchanging your language knowledge, but because he's not with you, you're not going to get to do that. I haven't decided yet how long it will take, but eventually he'll learn Sylvan, and you'll, learn Abyssal or Infernal from him. I know that was something we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll remind you. I'm sure it takes a little.
It'll take a while. Yeah, it'll take a while, but I mean, eventually you guys will do it. And at some point, you guys are just going to get downtime, and then the a while I'm telling you about will shorten up. So, if Blanford doesn't mind doing you can do it either in Discord or you can try to do the DM proper roll. You've been trying to hide your rolls up until now.
I'm going to try Discord.
Okay, yeah, go for it. You should be able to do the exclamation point version, just like directly to, or no, you won't be able to do it to me, I don't think, because you can't message with it, can you? I don't know if you can. You can try. I don't think the bot will react. You have to do it in a channel somewhere, and everybody else has access to all the channels. Especially May there, who has like every role in Discord that you can possibly have. This is what I can do for you. I'm just gonna roll it personally.
1d20 plus 2.
Oh my god. Oh, what? Did it figure it out?
What?
1D. Oh, because I put an M there by accident. Whatever. What a stupid bot. Anyways, okay. It was a success, but it's still far from mattering. Anyways,
How many successes do I need?
you aren't aware, and I specifically removed it from the the document I recently released. So you can always look it up. You can always look it up in the rules if you're really curious, but it's definitely going to be a while. Yeah, if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, I've been hinting at it all the time that something's wrong with Zazimus, but you guys haven't asked him, so it's fine. It's just going to keep happening.
Keeps running away from us.
That's true. Although you had all morning from the other session. Anyways, you guys are fully healed. You guys are fully ready to go. And you wake up in the morning and you guys have like a nice morning dinner. I'm going to say that expenses you all owe because of the rooms and whatnot. Man, okay. So everyone owes 5 silver except for May/Rim. We'll just have to pay for both of them. So obviously doubled for you guys. So you'll have a full gold of food, drink, and the stay at the room for the one night. Again, if you guys wanted to stay here for prolonged amounts of time, there are other options other than just staying in a tavern that might be cheaper. But, you guys had been in the wilderness for a while, so... And even prior to that, you haven't lived anywhere as nice as this, so it was nice to just kind of splurge and have a great time. Even if it was just carrot juice. You wake up in the morning and Clementine is there. She's waiting for you in the lobby. Not the lobby, but in the front door. She's not even waiting for you outside. She's waiting for you, standing there. She's not even sitting anywhere. She's standing, waiting for you as you guys come downstairs. And if you want, you can have a little something to eat in the morning as well, just so that you're not grumbling all day. Not to mention that Blanford has a pack full of food, so you guys will be good for a while. Although he only purchased for himself, so I guess you'd only be good for 2 days, maybe a day, if you were eating his supplies.
Nope, this is for me. I'm going to eat at the table with everybody else.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I mean, obviously you wouldn't use those supplies while you're in town. You would use them when you're out there adventuring or whatnot. So
we're gonna have a big breakfast.
Awesome. So you guys are aware of the job. Do you guys need me to explain anything, or do you want to ask questions to Clementine?
I'm not aware of the job. I didn't realize you were giving a job until halfway through, because I didn't want to listen in on what he was doing.
Oh, I see. You're trying not to metagame it, and then I said, I gave it to you.
I don't pay quite as much attention when it's somebody else, and my character's not there.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to other people when they talk either. I'm just kidding. I'm just being a dick.
I want to ask about first, since I wouldn't know about the job anyways, I want to ask about the library, because that sounds really...
Okay, sure. I was going to say that Blanford had a moment to speak to you guys before you went to bed, but that's fine. We can deal with that now and say that he didn't have a chance to talk to you.
I'm surprised that Blanford's even in the tavern in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. Somehow he made it. He had a wild night.
I was rolling dice in my room. Blanford, hi. Okay, cool. How did you even find us?
Well,
What have you been up to?
About that, but I may have made a blunder. And I may have made some errors. But
Clementine comes over and she bows to all of you again, and has learned to speak to you guys in Elvish now, because that's how you seem to want to speak. Good morning, everyone. Can I sit at the table with you?
Yes.
And she takes a seat.
I miscalculated something last night, and because I thought you were going to be somewhere else, I thought that you were going somewhere else. I went there. I miscalculated again, misread the room badly, and we are going to have to do something for somebody so that we don't get kicked out of town.
Oh, don't worry, Clementine says, speaking up. You won't be kicked out of town. You just might not be allowed back at that building for a while. I'll try to deal with the rumors as best as I can for you guys. I think I can deal with that part. You just won't be allowed back personally. She points at you. Back to the Grand Aperture for a while. If you give them time and they cool off, I might be able to get the ban removed.
That would be lovely, because I would like to. That does seem like the place to perform and get some lovely tips.
If that's what you were trying to do, I heard about what you actually did. I could give you some advice, or maybe help you find places
I don't know
to perform.
What I actually did.
I'm sorry?
I don't know what I actually did.
What you actually did? Well, okay, she doesn't know the grim details of everything, but she is aware that people are saying that you were casting magic and then the girl freaked out and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, she also was kind of aware that you could change your appearance and some other things. Clearly, you're a spellcaster and an adventurer, and she's seeing that as something to
troublemaker.
use, not something to be afraid of, whereas some people might be afraid. And the rest of you are like, oh, you're banned from somewhere?
And after all of
And
this,
they're
wanna
not
admit-
surprised at all.
I want to mention to May
At
that,
all.
the only difference between Blanford and Zazie, Blanford doesn't hate elves. That's like the only difference. There's something up with this dude.
Yeah.
You think if we like run up, pulled on his head, if it's like pull a Blanford skin
There's
off
one
his
other
Zazie or
difference.
something?
The one other difference is that the rat woman is only sexually attracted to one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Those are the two distinct differences, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, we've been with him Blanford long enough.
Would you
is
like me
not-
to explain this? Would you like me to explain what this is about? I decided that going into a elvish capital as someone who hates elves was not good for anybody's health. Apparently, it didn't work out as well as I hoped. I think I had a Zazie
Even the
flare up.
DM isn't sure what you were hoping would happen. You wanted the fight to break out? How was that going to be helpful? I have no idea what the best case scenario was for that. I really don't.
So Clementine, if you want to step away from this for a second, I was curious about the library because that sounds way more interesting than all this other shit that's going on.
Certainly, yes. It's a royal library. It has tomes and books related to just about anything you could think of.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there somebody? I don't know. I've never really been to a library before. I would love to just kind of like learn some stuff. Do they have like professors or something? I don't know how school.
You're
works.
looking for someone to teach you. I mean, I could try to find a tutor for you. Is that something you want?
Well, so I mean, I don't know if I said it before, but I'm actually a wizard.
Oh, I didn't want to assume, but I kind of had a feeling. I noticed the spell book poking out of your.
Yeah, I got my spell book, my component pouch that I fiddle with. Yeah, I was just, I don't know. I wanted to see if there was anyone. I mean, they don't have to be a wizard necessarily, but anybody with arcane magic or that knows spells or like even like an alchemist or something like that.
Yes. Well, basic magical abilities, you would find that at the temple of Ava. There would be people there with some abilities. I know you mentioned. Did you guys mention removing curses? No, she's still not aware of the dagger.
Oh wait, I guess I would mention that. Sorry.
Yeah,
also,
I assumed you had told her, and then I'm like, no, you kept it hidden the whole time. In fact, you're at lunch. Somehow you ate an entire meal and played Dragon Chess one-handed.
Yeah, so you might have noticed that my hand, my left hand's been in my pocket the entire time. It's not anything weird. I just I have a cursed dagger that's stuck to my hand.
Curses.
You think that maybe the temple or somebody could remove that?
Yes, certainly. Yes, there would be healers there. You could speak with them. I'm sure they can help you with that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You mentioned an alchemist. Yes, we have an alchemist in town as well.
Oh my goodness, awesome. I forgot. I also wanted to see if Rim could maybe learn something, and then Rim will kind of step up. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm not quite as strong as these other adventurers like May and things. But I'm still trying to kind of get up to speed on a lot of the adventuring. I was wondering if there's anyone that could teach me. I just know some more martial abilities, nothing magical like May, but I'm curious if there's somewhere I can train or something like that.
She nods. The whole time she's nodding, like she's just eager to respond. Yes. We have an academy where they train military cadets. You could go there and you could get some military training, or With you all being adventurers, maybe more of you are looking for young budding apprentices. I mean, it exists here in the city of El Luane, if that's something you're interested in. And no, the DM did just add that in. I did actually have that already.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if you can draw us a map or show us those places, but I'd be interested in checking those what we talked about.
Sure. I'm trying to think if she should give you a map and just give you locations of. How about until like I'll worry about that into next week. What do you guys want to do today? Are you not at all interested in doing the quest just yet?
I am. I want to go on that quest.
They're arguing, right? Isn't he trying to rip off his face or something?
I was gonna try to rip off.
Are you painting my face like an auntie?
So
No,
she's gonna
like
explain.
You're an alien that's wearing a human mask and he's trying to rip it off.
Oh right, because the only difference is so yeah, that's right. He's like pulling on his rat tail. I mean his mullet.
Rat tail.
Are you pinching my face like an auntie, and so I can just go, I can just squirm and wink at you?
Just gonna get up and say I'm just sick of all the just not knowing. I want to know. Go back to Zazie. Zazie.
Oh, apparently I've humbled this. This is such a more pleasant perversion, and I've been using it because it's more useful. Really prefer Zazie?
If technically if it's you anyway. What'd you do?
Hey,
You got some kind of magical disguise on or something?
no, it's just I changed my mind.
So by changing your mind, you can change the way you look.
No, it's just makeup, and I've done stuff with my hair. It had been up in a turban, and now it's not. If I were going to do something else, I could do it in tight braids, or I could do different things with my hair. I could do different things with makeup or dyeing my hair or whatever. I could do pigments to lighten or darken. It's a lot of work. It took a while to do it. It was a lot of effort. If you really want me to go back to Zazie, I can do that, but I'd rather not here. So that's
I guess. But if you do, I mean, they're not going to notice. You may have a better way of getting around town looking like Blanford. Since you're by half the city.
as I have ticked off a good portion of people in the city. I may as well. I just swap into someone completely new again. That's too.
I mean, if you
Silly.
turn back to Zazie, I guess you wouldn't be banned anymore.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow after we finish this. Let's do this quest as we've agreed to this quest as I agreed to this quest as Blandford, so you have to do it as Blandford. But then after that, we can do it as I'll swap to Zazie.
She explains that she overhears that she mentions, well, I've spoken to Dapper Dan. He'll take whoever I tell is part of the group. You can look however you like. It won't matter. Also, for the rest of you, in case you weren't aware, you have as much trouble as your friend may have caused. He did catch the eye of someone. Adventurers are in short supply sometimes, and they get offered work. Dapper Dan, a member of well repute, has asked us to escort him into the Shadowfell. It will be for a while, he says. Could be hours or longer that you need to stand the weight of the Shadowfell. He's not even certain what kinds of dangers will be there. But he can take you to a nearby area where he knows that there is a way in, and then he will take you further to some flowers that he knows bloom only in the Shadowfell in a particular spot. He will gather them up and then return. He says he'll pay you 2,000 gold up front and another 2,000 gold for his safe return. Also, if you're curious, I was poking around for other information and other things that you might want to be interested in. I had heard about it, but until now adventurers are here to deal with it potentially. I hadn't really dug into it. There is this magical dome not too far from town. No one normally goes that way. We're not sure exactly what it is. We know it only as the Crackle Forge. It's some kind of magical barrier. We don't know what to do with it. Most people just ignore it. We imagine someone put it there. Could have been 100 years ago, 200, a fae maybe. Hard to say. But
There's a magic door?
sorry? It's
You said
a
there-
dome. There's
Oh,
a
a dome?
barrier. There's like a
There's
large area, just kind of, there's like a clearing, and this Crackle Forge, they call it the Crackle Forge, although it's not actually a forge, it's just a domed off magical area that people don't enter. And if you go into it, if you deal with it however way is necessary, it's an oddity, and adventurers sometimes like oddities. There's no one offering any kind of reward, but maybe there is something of great power there. I'm not certain. I just thought I would let you know it's something I heard of.
I would like to, before we head out, I need to go to the temple. And, is there a temple of Mask?
There isn't. We have the Temple of Ava and a shrine to Saloon. Those are the two religious buildings.
A saloon will do, I guess. Oh,
I'm not really ready to go back into the Shadowfell just yet.
Okay. You already were in the Shadowfell. That's good. You have experience. And she's mentally like noting your skills and abilities.
Yes. We have been there. We know a place that's amazing. The Shadowfell is.
Are you trying to convince her the Shadowfell is awesome?
No, the Shadow. We have come across so much Shadowfell that
No, we haven't.
it's not a second home, but it's a place that we are more familiar with than we would like, and we would like to
Familiar
like
enough.
to be better equipped the next time we go, because it's remarkably dangerous.
So, anyways, yeah, well, maybe we'll do that. I want to check out the
Okay.
library.
If you guys aren't interested in questing, we can definitely do some essentially
I would
downtime
lo-
stuff. Do you want to do it quickly, or do you want to role play?
I'd like to go to the Temple of Saloon and try to get my situation dealt with.
Not now. In my mind, this means something, but it probably doesn't to you guys. So I will explain that when I say shrine, it's smaller. A temple is
Yeah.
larger.
It's
so-
usually just a place of worship, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
So the Temple of Ava is like a large building. There'll be
real
lots of
place to
people
go.
there. The shrine to Saloon is going to be relatively small. It'll probably
It would not be the place to go to deal with my situation.
You could. I mean, there'll be people of religious and magical repute at both locations. I just thought I would let you guys understand that when I'm saying temple or shrine, that's what I mean. And as far as I know, that might actually be the definitions of them, but I'm not actually sure. So in my world, whether you guys get dictionary definitions and prove me wrong or not, temples are large, shrines are small.
yeah, well, a shrine can vary in size. A shrine can be something really, really small. It can just be like an old almost.
Mm-hmm. It is a building, though. It is a building. It's just a much smaller building, and there would be some like priests or worshippers.
I'm going to go to the Shrine of Saloon and make an offering and ask them to help me deal with my situation.
Certainly. I'm trying to remember exactly. I had information on this.
But it's a little
They'll heal.
inconvenient.
They'll give you magical healing, for. Oh shucks. I want you to be aware of this other. Okay, so the first thing when you. All right, are you guys gonna split up then? How are we doing this?
Where are you going?
He wants to go to the Shrine of Saloon. You guys want to go to the temple or the library? I don't know what Fjorn wants to do. It could be anything.
I could go to the. I was thinking about going to the training area.
Oh, the academy? Yeah, for sure.
Well,
You can
like,
even take
maybe-
Rim with you if you want.
Yeah, I'll send Rim with him then, and I'll just go to the Temple of Ava because I want to get the thing uncursed. you know?
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of speed through this a little bit because we only have a couple of minutes left, and I kind of wanted to get this done before Oris comes back. So yes, when you go to the Temple of Ava, I'm going to say I'm going to say the curse is going to cost you 100 gold to remove, and I'm going to say the magical healing will cost you 50 gold, and they will give you magical healing.
50 gold. How many platinum? That's
5.
platinum.
5
Okay,
platinum is 50 gold, or 10.
All right, I will do that.
Sure. Okay, so you do that. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll
Yeah.
send-
The rest. Nobody. Since no one went with you, no one's aware of the injury you had, but they will deal with it, and you. You can just basically treat yourself like you just gotten up from a long rest at this point, as well as you don't have that problem anymore. If you guys were curious, he got down twice a long time ago. I think in the same day when the owlbears happened. I think it was the owlbear
I
and
remember, I don't know what exactly happened to him, but I knew that.
so
was
he
what
got an injury that has been ongoing, and it's been weakening him, and it may be why. Well, luckily you guys just destroyed the temple, but there was always a far greater chance of him,
I was getting -1 maximum HP every day.
Yeah, he had a festering wound from, if you can imagine, the hags clawing into him left him with this wound that was. And honestly, you guys have been out for were you at -5 yet?
4.
-4? Yeah, it was starting to add up. And if you're curious, it's 10 successful medical checks
Oh no!
by you or anyone else is the rules behind that injury.
And I was never going to ask anyone for help.
Well, I mean,
Spurt.
you kind of level up faster in a lot of situations. But if I gave you guys like a week of downtime and you took it without healing, well, I mean, why wouldn't you heal? You're in town. But yeah, so you remove the curse to the dagger. The dagger, they what they do, in addition to the cost of the dagger, or sorry, they perform a ritual that detaches the dagger from your hand, and then what they do is they take a lead casing and they put the dagger in that, and they consider the cost of the lead included in your de-cursing, and then they give you they say you can take it or they'll dispose of it, but you can take the dagger if you want, and as long as it's encased in that I want to say half inch. I'm going to say half inch is good enough for this curse. I think most things it's 1 inch of lead, but I'm going to say a half inch of lead because an inch of lead is a lot of lead, and I don't want it to be heavy. So as long as it's in this case, touching it won't have the curse happen to you because magic tends to not permeate through lead very well. So you can carry it around or keep it in your thing in case you want to, I don't know, do something subterfuge related, potentially have someone accidentally pick up the knife and then be stuck with it, and then you do something like forced enemy, the thing that Blanford was doing. I have no idea, but if you want it, it's available.
Oh yeah, I'll just keep it. Why not? I mean, it could come in handy, or maybe I can do something later. After that, I want to go to the library, and then Rin is going to be with Fjorn.
Excellent. Okay, so to speed some of this along as well, when you're at the Shrine of Saloon, getting your healing done, something you notice that's very interesting to you is that there are owl bears around the shrine, and they not like a ton of owl bears, but you notice that behind the shrine, there's actually like an owl bear. I almost want to say ranch, a person that stables owl bears, and the ones that you see roaming around. Not only are they docile enough to move around, they have like ceremonial stuff tied to them, and they use them. They use these owl bears for saloon-based ceremony, which kind of makes sense because Saloon is the god for owls, and they at some point they've learned to tame owl bears, and that if that's something you're interested in, you could potentially question the people who run this stabling of owl bears about that, but we're not going to do that today.
I will. I'm going to ask all about that.
Also, in addition to that, while you speak to the people, I want to say the Temple of Ava, this is where you hear about this. Nope, it's also at the Shrine to Saloon. You hear about somebody actually notices after healing you or whatever that you must be some kind of adventurer, and they offer another potential quest line for you guys. They mention something called the Gray Folk, which is people just around town have some kind of disease or something. They don't know what it is, and they can't cure it, even though they can cure you and they can cure whatever. And all it does is tinge their skin gray. And you think back, and you feel like you've seen one or two of them walking throughout town, but you didn't pay them any mind. You thought maybe that's just the way the Ava elves look. But yes, there's apparently this weird disease, or they say it's strange. It doesn't necessarily spread by like the regular means of contact or being near each other. So one member of the family can have it and the rest could not. They're not even sure, but it's slowly spreading. They've noticed the number of cases is increasing and they never recover. So they're saying, can you in any way find information about the Gray Folk in any way? And they just mention this as a passing like concern. And so you have that in the back of your mind.
Sure. I thought it was a fashion thing. Okay.
When you arrive at the academy, the two of you arrive at the academy, there are people training. There's people in charge of the academy training. There's some training that's even beyond martial training. There's like some people that might be getting some kind of magical training as well. You see a firebolt get fired at one point as you walk around. They allow you to come in. They say, welcome, yes, you can come in and you can look around. Yeah, the owlbear immediately eats you as you roll that animal handling check. No. So yeah, as you guys wander around the academy, you get told that there's plenty of people here that would make for great apprentices, as well as the ability to leave kind of like a Pokemon daycare, if you will, an apprentice here and have them not be weighing down your party, but progress as if they were gaining experience. So they can basically, you can leave them here and they'll gain levels without them. So if you get a level 1 apprentice, you could leave them at the academy for a while until they're level 2 or level 3 before you bring them with you somewhere so that you don't risk them getting killed. But they can only train them to a certain reasonable ability, and it gets exponentially longer how long it takes. It's definitely faster to train them in actual combat and adventuring than at the academy, but it's an option for you guys. And I don't know if anybody else is looking for an apprentice, but you could do it. And then if you're someone who wants to have a second character but doesn't want to manage 2 characters at once, it's a great place to plop a character and have it as your backup without actually having to play 2 characers. So I don't know.
I would like to pick one up.
So that's something you guys might want to consider doing as well. Obviously, there'll be... We'll see if there's any kind of... So getting an apprentice might be relatively inexpensive because they're going to want to be your apprentice, but the training to keep them there is going to increase your like daily expenses. So yeah, I'm going to kind of...
I'd like to pick up an apprentice.
We'll leave that there. Well, we'll worry about that down the road. I just want you guys to know that these things are available. We'll worry about you arrive at the library. We'll do the library as the last little bit. You arrive at the library and it is massive. It is a big library. You get in there. It's a tall building. You go in. It's just books lined, and there's a woman librarian there waiting as you approach, and she lets you know that yeah, you're free to go through the library and read books. You can even potentially sign a couple out depending on what sections you bring them from. Some sections or get them from, I should say. Some sections you have to read them there. Some of them you might be allowed to borrow a book or two. There's like a small membership fee. We'll worry about that if that's something you want to do. But you could spend a day in this library and just learn about basically a ton of stuff. Anything you really want to know, you can just ask. Basically, the DM's brain at this point.
I mean, I feel like,
you can learn
yeah,
about
probably
monsters,
we're
languages.
almost
Sorry.
done. Probably I'll just message you about, well, maybe if you can just give me like a few different things that she can focus on. Like, obviously, it'd be cool to learn, like, see if I could learn any new spells, but if not that, then
that actually might be doable, and it would probably be in the you can't take it out of here section. For copying down, like copying from spell books and stuff. Yeah, they do have some access to that, and we might be able to do that. There'll be obviously for the more powerful stuff that anyone can do. Downtime, we'll have to do downtime, or there'll be costs incurs. You guys are level 5 now, so getting money venturing should be relatively easy, and then being able to come back to a town like this and spending it to get awesome stuff is definitely on there. And in all honesty, you have not ticked on all of the things I have available for you in this town yet. So if you guys think what I've given you is awesome, I'm hoping to keep blowing your minds for a little bit before you've explored everything. But yes, I'm going to call it here. I hope you guys had a good time. I know we didn't do any actual combat. The only rolls were mostly just persuasion rolls. The vast majority of our rolls being done. But I hope you had a good time. I'm glad we didn't do anything too extensive because Oris would have missed out, and now he gets to come back with his respec. You guys can probably get some downtime stuff done very quickly and then start doing some of the quest lines that I've laid out for you. Or you could just ignore it all and decide to go try to save Whimsy. That was something interesting you guys mentioned before, which I thought was cool, but would mean traveling back, back to the south. I had my monster manual open. We did not use it. Okay, so I hope anyone who was watching had a good time. We do our episodes on Sunday, as you've just seen, and we do another one on Wednesday as well. The two parties are in the same universe, but are played by different people and are only connected by the world. They're in completely different parts of the world, of the continent right now, doing different things, but slowly they will touch on interesting points that reflect on each other, which I'm pretty excited for. So I guess I will let everyone say goodbye. I'm going to do my 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.